Damn, 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 damn. Give me a moment of time where something goes right, please. Is that all I ponder? You know what I'm saying? That's all. You know? It ain't gotta be nothing else. It ain't gotta be nothing that damn serious. I just want moments in time where I could exist. You know? Oh my god. It always happens. Like I never get a chance of reprieve. All I get is a nonsensical nonsense. I don't never get to just, stream. I'll never get to just stream and things go right, man. Yeah. Welcome back. We're trying this again. Do I think it's gonna work? Yeah. The jury's still out. The jury's still out if it's gonna work or not. But screw it. We're gonna have fun with it. YouTube hates you. It's not even YouTube. So throw that and the rest of your random theories about YouTube out the window. I really think it was my interface. I really think it was just my interface. The interview is 3 hours. News flash. What a shocker. Hi, Peachy. How are you today? Are you doing well? All right. Now you're going to saddle. Let's go. Do this. No, that's not what well, technically it is what I want to do. So, boom. Back at it again with my, I don't even know what color these are, slippers on, you know? We're just going to tweet this out again. I'm live with the fucking apostrophe not in the right place. I'm live. And that's the tweet. All right. I'm gonna fucking do that. Cool. Now. Everybody remember like the fucking few minutes ago when I tried to stream and it was a botch? Great. We're back. Hi again. We're back again. Will my headphones work and not static me this time? 3, 2, 1.
People that don't come from a lot, me and you, obviously, obviously have different decisions that lay before us in life than people that come from
They work. They're not staticking.
Everything, or people that come from a very stable household, 2 loving parents. And this kind of gets into the dilemma. I remember years ago, Tommy Lahren had said something. She's a political commentator.
No, don't buy me some headphones. Oh, it says Cheez-Its. Never mind. Support my Cheez-Its fund so that I'm off the streets and not dealing with gangs and guns. Support the Cheez-Its fund so that I could get off the streets.
In the U.S. had said something to the effect of, well, Jay-Z used to sell crack. And he sort of laughed.
And he probably did.
And he did. And he sort of laughed this off. And I remember looking at that because I looked up to Jay-Z's music so much, and I looked up to him because it made it possible for me to change my circumstances. And looking at this guy who comes from nothing, he came from the projects, he sold drugs, and then he doesn't have to sell drugs anymore. And he's now talking about ideas and talking about business. So I was able to more closely understand.
PG, I'm not arguing with you about Cheez-Its. You still don't have proper taste buds on this planet.
And go, okay, I can actually climb out of these circumstances, even though I wasn't born, with a ton of wealth and a lot of opportunities that some people were. Yeah. And I think it's very difficult for people that don't come from nothing to understand that, and they're so sure that if they were in desperate circumstances that they would still never do anything.
But this is their massive mistake, and you're right, but this is their massive mistake. The reason I have such huge affinity with the youth of the world today, especially the masculine youth, is 1, because a lot of them are disenfranchised, which is one conversation, but 2, also the reason my reach is so global, the reason I have so many fans in Slovenia and Southside Chicago, and I've had kids from Ulaanbaatar come up to me, Mongolia, all around the world, is because I speak to the disenfranchised, and part of that is always going to be, or is going to involve, financially disenfranchised. I'm someone who comes from absolutely nothing and made himself into something, and unfortunately there's a rocky road sometimes, like you just described with Jay-Z, to get that done. But if I would have been born into a perfect family, like you said, 2 loving parents, family was rich, white picket fence, and I was saying all the same things, then they wouldn't have the same affinity. So if you look at even a lot of superheroes, you look at Batman, he's a flawed person. And I think the reason I'm seen as a hero.
Batman is a terrible superhero. And this motherfucker's about to call himself a superhero.
And the reason I have the fan base I have is because to a degree I've always been a flawed person, and I'm not a perfect human, and I don't want to be. And I think that actually adds a lot of credibility to my character as a whole, that I've become the kind of person who believes he can add value to the world. And just like you said with Jay-Z, he changed. And The biggest thing for me personally, though, truthfully, and I want the whole world to understand this, I've been forensically analyzed by multiple different federal agencies from different countries for the last 17 months, analyzing every aspect of my entire life across the last 10 to 15 years. And what did they find? An old YouTube clip? That's the worst they could find. No sexual perversion, no drugs, no genuine criminal acts. They found something semi-immoral in a YouTube clip. And I would actually challenge anybody who wants to throw stones at me to go through the same level of scrutiny I have been under. And let's see what they find in your life. Because I guarantee anyone who's watching this right now, you sit there, you have a secret in your closet. You have a skeleton that you don't want anyone to know about, and they would have found it. So what's the worst thing that they found about me, considering I've been the most attacked man in the world for 17 months? An out-of-date YouTube clip? An out-of-context YouTube clip? Is that the worst? I think it's crazy that people aren't even sitting there going, okay, this guy's been absolutely attacked from every single angle. This is the worst they could possibly drag up.
Right. No, I agree with you. So the question I would ask you, though, because obviously you've moved away from that business, the thing I find to be the most interesting about you is that younger boys love you. Yes. They absolutely, like the 12, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, I have not come across a 12, 13-year-old boy who's not just an Andrew Tate stan. Yeah. And I think it's remarkable. It gives you a lot of power. And I think this is perhaps the interest.
I don't think that gives you a lot of power. It's kids or teenagers who have no money or no influence in the world. You just got fans, bruh.
That a lot of people have in you is, what are you going to do with this power, right? You have all these boys, they believe in you, they stand up for you. And that is why it becomes important to state, I'm not sorry that I lived this. I don't think I would say that I'm sorry for anything decisions that I made when I was young either, because this is the deck of hands that I was given. What do you want me to do? Yeah. But at the same time, I do try to, now knowing that I have such a following of a lot of young ladies that follow me, say like, listen, I did the idiot stuff, so you don't have to.
Power and responsibility go hand in hand. And that's the thing that's so interesting. These out-of-date clips, and they want to talk about these things from 10 years ago. At the time when I was talking to camera, those videos were made for private circulation initially. Secondly, I wasn't trying to educate the world on anything back then. I didn't have the kind of power and influence I have back then. The way you say something to a video which has 50 viewers has to be different than the way you say something to a video that's 50 million viewers. Mm-hmm. Power and responsibility absolutely go together, and I understand that very well, and I understand the power I have. And I do believe I'm now an absolute force for good in the world, and I'm far more careful with how I'll project myself with certain ideas. Absolutely agree, completely. But that's the thing that's even so crazy about all of it. These old videos everyone's so concerned about wouldn't even circulate if my haters weren't constantly trying to use them against me.
This man told people to share clips of him. His own fans shared those clips. No. Don't do that. Your own fans promoted you, good buddy. Mr. Bald. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit here and be like, oh, it's nothing but the haters, when your own fans promoted these clips of you, bro.
They've been disappeared into the history of the internet. I don't know where these things come from. I don't know where they were found. I don't know where they are. It's kind of crazy. A lot of people are making all these constant attacks on me, and I don't watch a lot of it. I'll be honest with you, Candace. I don't watch all of it. But a lot of the videos are so outdated. The only reason they even exist now is because my haters are so desperate trying to take me down. They don't have any concern for them being seen because they wouldn't be circulating them otherwise. So yeah, absolutely. Power and responsibility go hand in hand. And I do believe that I now have a huge platform, and with young boys, they're exceptionally interested in my case. I do believe to a degree I'm an anti-hero. I do believe to a degree that the harder I'm attacked, the more credibility is given to me in the eyes of my fans. I think that they see, everyone's out to get this guy. Everyone was out to get Batman. This kind of feels that way. And I do try and lead everyone down a good path and say extremely positive things. And I don't think anybody is finding any clips from the last 5 to 6 years which have anything negative in them.
Right. I think you've changed.
Excuse me. Do we really want to peel back these edges? He just said that, oh, there's nothing bad in any of these clips. Do you really want to dare people to look for things to interpret that will end up being a bad look on you?
That's why I said over the last 5 years, I think there's been a seismic shift. And speaking to boys, the younger boys, I think one of the things that they're really suffering from, I get tons of responses, rather unexpectedly, whenever I talk about the topic of pornography on my show. And it's one of those things that, again, if you found Candace 10 years ago and you asked me about pornography, and by the way, this was actually implanted into my head from a health school, like from health education, where they would say pornography is healthy, people should watch pornography, people should engage in pornography, it's okay for your relationship for you to watch pornography. And then I had a huge wake-up call when I spoke to Tim Ballard, he runs Operation Underground, and then I realized how closely pornography is related to human sex trafficking.
Real sex trafficking, not TikTok
sex trafficking. And yeah, we should talk about that because they are kind of stretching the definition of sex trafficking in your case. I've taken a look at it. And what's remarkable to me is the amount of young men, and I would say from the ages of 18 to 35 that write in and say how much they're struggling with porn, how much they're struggling with pornography addiction, how they feel that no person is talking about the ills of pornography. And so I just watched this clip of you this morning, sitting next to Adam 22.
You were ever interested in doing your first ever double penetration scene that me and Lena, I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like,
yo, dude.
Isn't it interesting how she could pull up this recent clip and not pull up any of the clips that would lead people to think, all right, this person is someone to be weary of?
Would he be a suitable candidate? Can I tap him in?
Oh, no. No.
Oh, yeah, can I fill in real quick, Andrew? You're out.
Aiden, you're not in this conversation anymore.
Fair enough. Go ahead, Andrew. Andrew, would you double penetrate her, bro? Would you do that, Andrew? Go ahead. Finish the answer.
If all together, is that chill?
There's absolutely 0% chance of that happening. And it's not because Elena is particularly unattractive. It's because she's married to Adam, and I have no interest in degenerate, pointless sex, and I have no interest in making a spectacle of myself or even just involving myself in anything which I deem to be overall haram and pointless. It's just not something I'd be interested in. There's not a single amount of money on the planet you could pay me to undertake. So
you were very polite. I'm not going to be so polite. I thought he was an absolute degenerate. And I mean that the idea of having a woman making the vows that you make in marriage and literally offering her body as he did to you was a form of degeneracy. And you were being very nice and measured. And I think that for that moment, that was the best thing that you possibly could have done because she looked quite vulnerable.
Yep.
Lena, I think is her name.
Yep.
But how do you reconcile that now, right? You're in a circumstance like this. You're being polite. You did say I'm uncomfortable. You did say that I would never do this. And I think that was really important for you to say. But you're not the same person. I mean, how did you, even reflecting on it, it's so disgusting. He offered you his wife.
It is pretty disgusting. And it's also pretty misogynistic because he didn't ask her, he offered her. I felt sorry for her, so I was very measured with my conversation with him because I felt sorry for her. I could tell she was nervous. She was swinging on the chair back and forth. She didn't.
Based Andrew Tate, all this promoting your wife around as like this whore who's just gonna do threesomes all day. You know what? A point for Andrew Tate.
Be there. She felt extremely nervous, and I think that only a coward would berate a very nervous, very scared woman, even if she did something which I personally disagree with, even if I think Adam is personally, he doesn't align with my morals, because she was so nervous and because she was so almost afraid she looked. And I think she expected me to go at her hard. So I just felt sorry doing it. I just didn't, I couldn't find, maybe I'm getting soft in my old age, but I think she knows what I think, and I think she knows what the world thinks. And I think if I go at her too hard, it's just going to break her. And I don't really like the idea of her, turning off the camera and bawling her eyes out. I think that God will teach her the lessons she needs to learn from her experience, both positive and negative. And I think that's God's job to do and not necessarily mine. But yeah, it was certainly uncomfortable, and it shows how degenerate the world is becoming. And pornography as a whole is simply just, I think it's an effect. I think it's a tool which is used to ensure that the male populace stays as docile as possible.
This is what I was talking about in the stream, that kind of got cut off because my headphones decided to quit for like a minute. This man is saying this, and I could honestly believe that he was sincere. I could believe that he was sincere if it wasn't for the fact that this man was making bank off of these docile, horny men who wanted conversation, who wanted people to talk to. This man even said he'd move the girls to the side and he would be the one talking to them because he knew what a man wanted to hear, which would lead to him getting more money. So it's like, yeah, did the money dry up? You gotta be quiet so that this doesn't get brought up in court? Like how we really measuring this right now, bruh? Like, cause I'm not really understanding any sincerity for you at the current moment.
I don't think that any of the things that are happening to the male population are accidental. I think that keeping us as docile as possible is very interesting for the people who are in charge of the world because we're the warrior class. At the end of the day, it's going to boil down to the men who are going to stand up and actually do something about anything at some point in time. So I think they like the idea of us being docile. And I mean, how much more docile can you get than a man sitting there looking at a screen, not even want to reproduce for real because he's just staring at a screen? And I think that's just the next stage in the slave mind.
And it's everywhere now. Whereas, and this is something that my husband says, he doesn't have any social media because he's like, Instagram is pornography. I open my Instagram and I've got Emily Ratajkowski's butt cheeks. Yeah. And I'm not a man, so I don't have that.
Let's see if she says what I hope she would say for something like this.
Same biological reaction to seeing it, but I can only imagine how difficult it is for a man when you open an app and you've got Kim Kardashian offering her body to Emily Ratajkowski. Even if you're walking down the street, I've realized even how desensitized I've become to pornography because you see an ad for Gucci and for whatever reason, she's got to be completely naked while she's holding the bag.
I remember in my lifetime.
Okay, it was not stated. You do realize this is algorithm based, so if you choose to keep that in your algorithm, you're going to see nothing but that. Okay? Like, you can spend at least 3 days putting your algorithm to something where you would only see babies and how to cook videos. There's personal responsibility in this. And unfortunately, for the both of these people, it seems like they spend too much time worrying about someone's ass cheeks on Instagram.
I remember in my lifetime, there were music videos that got censored or banned or can only be played after 10 or 11 at night. And if you watch them now, you'd be like, what? For what? What is that? A bikini? Like, it's nothing. It's amazing how quickly it has degenerated. And yeah, absolutely.
And we're all degenerating with it. Like, I've realized the fact that I don't have a reaction to seeing the half-naked woman holding a Gucci bag means that I have been desensitized to pornography. And I can only imagine what that does to men.
Oh, completely. And but this is what the powers that be want. They want to make sure that the male populace is as docile as possible. And they do that with a large array of weapons. And they do that with a web of tools. And I believe that I'm the counter to that, which is the reason I ended up attacked in the first place. But unfortunately, when you buy into the slave mind programming, you not become the kind of man who can easily attract a woman because you're not attractive to females as a whole. So how do you satisfy yourself? You end up sitting there staring at a screen and they convince you that's a good life to live as a man. And that's perfectly fine, perfectly normal. And you don't even get to genetically reproduce. I do also, though, and I want to make this clear, I do believe in absolute and utter self-accountability as a man. I think as a man, everything that happens to you is your fault. Me going to jail was my fault. me being attacked online was my fault. If all these bad things that happened to me, I will take responsibility for, even if I believe they were unfair or unjust. And I think that any man who's going to sit there and say, I'm struggling, he also needs to wake up and understand that if you're going to truly struggle to not click on a website, then you're going to deserve the terrible life you're going to live. And the devil or the matrix or whatever you want to call them are going to fill your life with temptations. They're going to fill your life with easy way outs that they're going to want you to take, because the good road is usually the hardest road. And they're going to continue to fall for them. Then you're going to have to suffer the consequences of that. So it's double-edged. It's certainly difficult that pornography is everywhere and men are struggling with it. But to me, what's even more upsetting is that these men don't have enough fortitude and enough mental strength to wake up and say, I'm better than that. But this is the thing, right? So I'm about to get started, Candace.
Good, get started.
This is the thing. But this is the thing, right? So when you attack a man's mental fortitude on one issue, you attack on all issues. This is why it's done purposefully. To resist a slave mind, you need to be able to resist in the first place. How can you resist a slave mind if you have no physicality, you have no willpower, no ability to mentally resist anything? Well, then what you're going to end up doing, you're going to end up eating the bugs and watching the porn and sitting in front of your computer. And that's what they want from the people. So
You end up doing the what, Andrew?
ability to mentally resist anything. Well, then what you're going to end up doing, you're going to end up eating the bugs and watching the porn and sitting in front of your computer.
Why is the eating the bug thing always just subtly thrown in? It's subtly, it's just thrown in. It never fails. Motherfuckers just subtly throw in the bug thing. It never fails. No matter what somebody talking about, they always just casually just want to throw in, oh, they eating the bugs. They eating the bugs. It'll never fail, and it'll never stop being funny to me.
And that's what they want from the people. So I think that it's actually all very interconnected. People come at me with a porn problem, and I get the same thing. Guys say to me all the time, hey, what are you going to do? What should I do? I struggle with pornography. And I say, that's because you have nothing else in your life in order. If you were in good physical condition, and you had the money you were supposed to have, and you had the mentality you were supposed to have, you wouldn't need it. So the reason you're so addicted.
Excuse me. My counter to that is, look at the guy in the clip that Candace showed. A guy who has all the money, and he's offering his wife up to do porn. Literally just offering his wife up to do porn. He has money. He is in a better position than most people his age. So what's the next lie? Or what's the next goalpost move?
The porn is because everything else in your life is a failure. And yeah, it's certainly a complicated issue. It's a difficult one. And this is why they fear male agency so much, because when men truly wake up and decide to be the best versions of themselves, they're hard to control, because all these control mechanisms fall by the wayside. They don't want the porn anymore. They don't want the antidepressants anymore. They don't want the garbage anymore. And now you have a whole bunch of men who actually want truth and honor and respect, and they want to live for something. And then what are they going to live for? They're going to want to be brave. They're going to want to do the right thing, regardless of how dangerous it may be for their own personal circumstance. And that sounds like a difficult population to enslave. And that's what's scary.
So how do you reconcile, first off, how long ago was your webcam business?
Yeah, so I stopped having any involvement with it. I think 8 to 9 years ago I stopped. It was a long time ago. It was the early stages of the internet. And I'll explain it one more time for people. I've explained it already at length, but I'll explain it from the beginning. I had a company. I was fighting at the time. And on a side note, I actually want to make this clear. We talk about things people have done in the past for money. I beat people up for money. I hurt people for money. I don't often tell people this, and I think it's the first interview.
Isn't it great how whoever edited this showed clips of this, but not clips to provide the context for Andrew?
I mentioned it. And there's a person who can never walk the same again because he fought me. I've had 87 professional fights, and I did my best to kill people. You're going to sit here and talk about what I did for money. I literally hurt people for money. And so I'm not a perfect person. I'm not sorry for my kickboxing career or my cage fights. I'm sorry for anybody. I had bare knuckle fights. I'm sorry for any of them, right? I was a person who had to pay the bills. I lived the life I lived. I used the tools I had. And I ended up opening a webcam company where girls would sit on a laptop and they would talk to guys on the internet for money. That's what they would do. The girls would sit there fully clothed or a bikini. Some of them would paint pictures. Some of them would sing songs. It's very similar to Twitch is now. Twitch is almost more sexual than the sexual websites were back then. I helped the girls set up accounts. We worked together. I helped them become as popular as possible. And everybody made money and everybody was happy. And nobody's complaining about it. Nobody's upset about it. None of the girls who work for me are upset about it. The government aren't after me for it. It's perfectly legal. Nothing's wrong with it. There's just a whole bunch of people who now think that they can take the moral high ground against me because I previously ran this company. And I think I can anticipate the question you're going to ask. How do I reconcile with the fact that I used to produce pornography or degree pornographic content?
Now men are writing to you like, how do I?
And now men are trying to escape it.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Somebody just left a comment on one of my shorts saying, you got to be the craziest conservative online.
Question. There's a few different ways I can answer that question. I think the first way I'll answer it is, if you own a liquor store and an alcoholic comes in and you refuse to sell him alcohol, does he stop being an alcoholic?
No.
He just goes and buys from someone else. So that's the cop-out answer. The cop-out is, well, these people who are addicted are always going to be addicted regardless of whether I did it or not. So that's the cop-out answer. But the second answer I can give, which I think is more detailed and probably more nuanced, is one, I intimately understand the relationship between men and these websites. I've had and seen men give away their life savings to girls they never met. I've watched and I've seen it. And I actually think a lot of the insights I give, a lot of the things I tell the world about the male mental health crisis, about men being so constantly lonely, about how important it is to build yourself into a high value man, about how money alone is not enough. I explain all these things. A lot of these are lessons from the webcam days. I saw dudes who had a whole bunch of money, no other attributes, and they ended up on these websites spending hundreds of thousands of dollars because they didn't have anything else. So I think I learned a lot of important life lessons, and I do my best to try and pass them on to people. But I guess also, and this is the final answer I want to give about this whole subject, is that I do think I can take the question you're asking and reverse engineer it and use it against the people who are trying to attack me for it. My answer to it would be, how do you sit and want to criticize me for being involved in the production of pornography 10 or 11 years ago if you're involved in the consumption of it? Because you're creating a market for it. So anybody who wants to sit and say that I did things wrong, that's fine. You're allowed to throw stones. But if you're in a glass house, if you have ever signed up to an OnlyFans account, if you have Instagram, if you're following these models on Instagram who you don't know, who are showing their tits and ass all day, if you've watched porn, if you fancy or think some beautiful woman on a movie, if you're gonna live in lust yourself and you're funding this entire industry, you're downstream, you're at the bottom of it, how can you then take the moral high ground on the person who's producing it? That doesn't make sense to me.
So either they're in the wrong or all of us are in the wrong. And I would stake the claim on, fuck it, we're all in the wrong.
Totally abstained from pornography your entire life, and you've never looked at it ever, and you've never been involved with it ever, and you're a perfect person, and you want to come along and say what I did was wrong, that's fine. But I don't think most people who are complaining can even say that. I don't think they can. And I will once again state this, and I'll state this as a matter of almost fact. The level of investigation I've gone under, the level of forensic investigation my life has been submitted to, most people don't understand. Most people have never been through what I've been through. They've not had their entire life forensically analyzed, every word they've ever said, everyone they've ever spoken to, every WhatsApp chat, everything, head to toe by federal agencies for the last 10 years. And the most they come up with is that I ran a webcam company, which I've already admitted to. That's it. Take these people who criticize me and see how many porn websites they've been on. Get their laptops. See what they've Googled. See who they've spoken to. Like, it's all massively hypocritical. I do understand that some people would hear that and go, oh, you know, he's a bad person, etc. I don't think I was a bad person. I never hurt anybody. I think I could have done much worse things. I know many people from my circumstances who did many things worse than what I did. And all in all, I'm not going to sit and pretend I'm sorry for something I'm not sorry for. And I just want to make it clear to the world that, like you said, people come from different backgrounds and people grow and people change, etc. But I also look at the world in a different way. I think that we're all constantly doing our best. I think I'm doing the best I can right now. When I'm 55, I might watch this interview and think I'm an idiot, right? And I think we're all constantly doing our best. And I did the best I could do at the time. And I don't think it makes sense for me to hate past me for doing his best. I just don't think that's a very constructive mindset.
Living a healthy lifestyle can be challenging when you're always on the go. You need simple, manageable routines.
Excuse you, what are we doing here?
To live his life from your perfectly manicured garden and your white picket fence. You're not going to get through to that person. They don't care what you have to say.
It actually becomes a bit of a turnoff.
Absolutely.
It's like, and those are things about me that I don't think will ever change, which is why I get your following. I get what people like about you. It's why you say the disenfranchised follow you. And I think it's important for people to understand that. Like, there's no way, like, and I still have no respect for her at all, but it's why I snap so hard at like the Meghan McCains. I'm like, who the hell are you? What have you done in your life that you think I'm going to take advice? What, you've just been someone's daughter, right? What have you worked for?
Absolutely.
What have you survived? Tell me something that you lived through in your life that was a struggle. You can't, because your life has been perfect. And so I think it's so foolish to think that I'm going to take a lesson, that I'm more likely to take a lesson from a Meghan McCain, who I don't even think is a conservative. I think she's just a rich girl and got rich in way worse ways than you got rich. What was daddy doing overseas?
And that's a really amazing point, because we can also look at that, right? Conservatives will sit here and attack me. There are people who are making millions from blowing children to pieces. Like, let's get the world in perspective here for a second.
But it's cleaner. They didn't get their hands dirty.
Of course.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And that's why I am never the first to bark when someone is suddenly assessing someone's entire life. I'm like, look at you are literally built on the backs of dead Iranian children.
Absolutely. And I'm standing up here also, and I'll make this very clear. Like, I've not tried to avoid this judicial process. I've not tried to run away from anything. I'm standing here saying, if I've committed a crime, put me in jail. And if I haven't committed a crime, what can you say I've done? You could argue it was slightly immoral, perhaps. But I also, to a degree, maybe I'm a libertarian. I think if 20 people or 30 people get in a room and they all agree to do something and it makes them happy, then they should be allowed to do it. If nobody's hurt, nobody's upset by it, then they should do it. And perhaps that does make it libertarian. If 30 full-grown men decide to go into a room and be gay and they want to be gay, then they should be allowed to go be gay. You're 30 men, you're not hurting anybody, it's what you want to do.
How do we want to push this? How do we want to go about this? Like, if 30 people go into a room and if they all gay, of course, no one should care. But if we want to be a little bit destructive and say if 30 rapists go into a room, obviously, that's something we should not be co-signing.
If you want to wear red t-shirts, wear red t-shirts. If me and my brother had 30 people, we all got together, everyone made money, and everyone was happy, who's others to come along and criticize and say people are victims, people are upset, this is wrong, this is bad, etc. So, yeah, you're completely right. It's amazing how people throw stones and how imperfect everybody is, truly. And I think the best thing you can do as a man is obviously learn your lessons from your life and try your best to pass them on. I feel like I'm doing that to the best of my ability. But also, another thing that conservatives is going to blow their minds, is going to really upset them. What they don't understand about especially the strength of my message is that, to especially the young boys of the world, I'm cool. I'm cool. And I know they think that doesn't matter, but if you want to sit behind a desk and go, Republican Bill 304, you're a dork, so no one gives a shit, right? You're a nerd. I've got the big cars and pretty women, and I live the lifestyle. If you want to really capture the youth of today, you need to get some kind of affinity with them. They need to at least want to.
Unfortunately, he has a point. Unfortunately, you may not like it, but he has a point. Because these 12 to 13 to 14 to 15 to even people my age, guess what? They don't care. And fighting really hard to try to make them care is never gonna work. Like realistically, think about it. They got who's that one old dude? Like, he calls himself the Godfather of the Red Pill. This is the corniest old man y'all ever gonna see online, because he's constantly whining about how nobody buys his book, young men don't listen to him. Like, he's not engaging, he's not interesting, he's not entertaining. And sadly, depending on who you ask, I think it's perfectly fine. You gotta be entertaining while also spitting a message. Hate to break it to y'all. You can't just be like, hi, I'm here to talk about the youth of today and how it is a problem. You gotta have some flavor. Like me, my flavor is the obscene words I say. Like, I'm not just gonna sit here and be like, hi guys, today in society, a little girl threw like a balloon full of pig's piss at another little girl. Like, no, I'm gonna try to take you along for a story, and while I make you laugh, I'm also make you think. Rollo Tomasi, the guy who looks like a grandpa. I mean, if that's what he looks like, that's what he looked like. But I just consider him corny, especially that one clip of him calling Destiny and Sneeko, like, he literally called them douche schnozzles. It's like, do you not know you don't make yourself look good here in any capacity? Even towards people who are like fans of you, bruh?
Be you to a degree. You need to at least be their hero to a degree. This is where liberalism wins. I don't think a lot of conservatives understand it. Liberalism's sexy. You do drugs, you run around, you burn stuff. It's cool, you get a party. Because what do conservatives do? Stay home, stay home, stay. It's boring, right? At least what they don't understand is that conservatives will sit there and go,
yeah, Silver Triforce, I'm so edgy and cool.
a terrible role model because he has all these pretty girls in this fast car and he's a materialistic. That's the reason I can actually help the world. That's the reason young boys will listen to me. You said it yourself, 14, 15-year-old boys, they'll look at my life and go, okay, I want to listen to this guy. They don't want to listen to me if I sit behind a desk and read Republican Bill 308. I don't read that crap. I don't know. And they don't care.
I agree with you. I mean, I think one
Agreed. I don't know. Why is Candace saying she agrees? She's one of these people who's boring. Oh, Candace.
of the criticisms that I faced was that I care too much about culture on my podcast. I'm like, culture is interesting. Culture is what is changing minds and changing hearts. 100%. So if we don't want to compete with liberals in the cultural space, then what are we doing this for?
100%.
Right? What do you think the young kids, do you really think that they're, like you said, following a Senate bill that just hit the desk? Or do you think that how you convey that to them and how you're talking about ideas actually matters and culture matters? And it's something that conservatives gave up many years ago.
And they wonder why they lose. And then we call it...
Trump was cultural.
Trump was cultural.
Yeah.
Damn it. Why am I agreeing? I think the only reason I'm agreeing is because these are thoughts that I've had. Like, you 40 and 30-year-old Republicans who are like, we got to win the culture war. And then you listen to Ben Shapiro talk about the Barbie movie. It's like, I made this tweet. If I showed, like, actual liberals, leftists, and conservatives what you people complain about on Twitter and call the fight for the culture war, they would vote for the opposite side. Like, they would vote for the opposite side just to combat you. Online is a whole different scenario than people who don't care about that stuff and actually are wanting to hold true to whatever values that exist. Do you truly think anyone is going to put too much stock into Barbie or the Little Mermaid being black? And I'm specifically saying that because I know Peachy's still in here.
Was fake news.
Yeah.
Trump was a hero. And to be a hero, you have to be attacked and you have to be an imperfect person. And that's the reality of the world. And culture is super important. And you're right in regards to conservatives giving up. I'm trying to think of conservative culture now. I mean, I like to think that we're making degeneracy unpopular. I like to think that there are some good voices out there that's making God cool again. I actually like to believe the pendulum is swinging. I do believe it.
I haven't seen one person make God cool again because these new Christians are terrible.
And I see it online, and it's a combination of so many small things coming together almost in perfect timing. But it is cultural. You need a cultural shift that moves away from this insanity. And you're right. If you just want to sit there and just preach, nobody's going to be interested in it. And I also think that especially in the masculine realm, I can't talk for being a woman, but I can talk for being a man. In the masculine realm, we certainly like to see people lead by absolute and utter example, because traditionally we would be following our commander or the man we respected into war. So we'd like to know he can at least fight. You like to see he's at least brave. You like to see him lead by example. And I think especially if conservatives want to win the culture war, then they need to lead by example. If you're going to be a conservative preacher and you want to tell men about how they should live their lives, you should be as strong as possible. You should look in shape. You should be big. You should show you're motivated, you're disciplined. You should absolutely, of course, we all have vices, but you should be very disciplined with your outlook. You should make it very clear to the outside world that what you've done wrong, what you haven't done wrong, you should take accountability. I think you need to lead by example. I don't think you can preach to men. I don't think you can preach to young boys. I think that's the reason why they don't do so well in school in general. I don't think that's the reason why they're disenfranchised. I think you need to just lead by example and let them follow. And I feel like I'm kind of doing that by just standing up and saying, no, this is who I am and I'm unapologetic for it.
Ain't this the same dude who said like reading was pointless? Like this man made claims about reading being pointless. Where the viewers go, I don't know if you talk about mine. I think I have the same amount of people who was in part of the last stream, so I think I'm doing pretty good.
And this is what I've done, and this is what I intend on doing, and I'm going to try and save the world.
So I want to shift gears here and talk about your dad. I'm quite fascinated by your dad. He passed recently.
Yeah.
How many years ago?
9 years ago.
Yeah. But wow, just wasn't what I was expecting. A chess champ, served the country. His name was Emery.
Yeah.
Really interesting to talk about just, I guess, your upbringing with him as this chess champ. How did he get into chess?
Yeah, I do believe I had the best father on the planet. A lot of the things I regurgitate are regurgitated from him. A lot of the things I say, he literally said to me line for line. I believe that he was very morbid in his approach to life, and he wanted me to understand that he will not be here forever. And he wanted me to understand that when he was gone, I had a duty to fulfill. He talked about dying a lot, which I guess is kind of unusual, but he would, even though he was relatively young. He died when he was 58. But he was a chess professional. He was a professional chess player. He was one of the best chess players in the world. And what's most interesting about him is he almost predicted the future absolutely and utterly perfectly. He was talking about the Ukraine-Russia war back in 2013, and he was talking about how the gay people can't have children, so they're gonna come for your children. Trust me, that's what they're gonna do. The children are next. Like, he'd say all these things back like 10 or 11 years ago, and I'd be like, all right, Dad, you're a bit crazy, calm down. But I guess when you're a chess player, you see the future. And he raised me with absolute accountability, and he certainly raised me and Tristan he understood what the world expects of men, and he raised us to be strong. And even when we were in jail, my mother would call, I'd speak to her on the phone, and she'd say, how are you doing? And I'd say, oh, don't worry. And she would say, yeah, Dad raised you for this. Like, we were always raised to be warriors. So I don't think I could have possibly ever had a better father. I'm going to miss him forever. And I think the best thing I can do is be the best version of myself to give honor and respect to him. And I think that's the best thing.
Where did he pick up chess? It's quite unusual. He's American. He was American.
Yeah.
Black American. I don't know too many Black American chess players, full stop.
I'm losing drastic interest in this because this is going from, hey, I thought this was going to turn into something where we talk about the Corey case. I don't care about this man's dad. I'm sorry. Like, I don't. Candace is losing me.
Yeah.
Where did he pick up chess?
He taught himself. And he just read a couple books. I think he read 3 chess books and ended up being one of the best players in the world. And
incredible.
It's incredible. But it's actually interesting when you talk about, we were just discussing affinity and how people are imperfect people and how it allows you to actually teach things better. My father, towards the end of his chess career especially, made most of his money teaching chess in inner city schools because he's a big Black guy. Mm-hmm. So the children would be like, okay, I'll listen to this man. You're right. So it's amazing how affinity is real and coming from a certain socioeconomic background is real. And, we all talk about how ridiculous racism is, but also to a degree, pattern recognition is real. I look like him. I can be like him. These things are real. So yeah, he did fantastically well in terms of teaching, especially disadvantaged children. And he taught himself. And I wish I had his mind. I'm not nearly as intelligent as he was. I wish I was.
Be real smart to be a good chess player.
You've got to be better than smart. I actually think you go beyond the realm of smart into
Ahsoka, that's not how we do this. We go based on the 3-strike rule, and this is strike 2. This is strike 2. We got one more strike. And we haven't even hit an hour into this video. So, I feel like we're going to get to strike 3 before we hit the hour mark.
I wouldn't say he was on the spectrum, but you certainly get to a new level of socio interactions. You understand? I'd go to chess tournaments when I was a kid, and everybody there would be a world level chess player, and everyone was a bit strange, a little bit. I don't know if it's like that anymore. I see the chess community's now moved online. There's a lot of them playing online. And they seem a lot more normal than the grandmasters I remembered. I remembered old grandmasters, half drunk, ex-KGB, shaking at the board.
Russian.
Yeah, like it was a bit different back then. But yeah, I wish I had his level of intellect. He was certainly the smartest person I've ever known. And even when he died, I got endless emails from people I'd never heard of who just said, I worked with your dad, and I don't think you understand how smart he was.
He served America, yeah?
He served America. He was in the Air Force, and he was a linguist for the CIA. He joined the Air Force and ended up being a linguist for the intelligence.
What other languages did he speak?
He spoke Russian, German, Spanish, and English. But officially, he was supposed to speak Russian. He assimilated Russian in 2 weeks. I think he holds the Air Force record.
Okay, so he's very smart.
Yeah, super ridiculously smart. Yeah. I got an email from somebody when he died, and they said,
I'm just saying it. My hand's just waiting for the strike 3. I feel like it's coming because this is drastically off a cliff.
that I just want to send you an email. You don't know who I am. I'll serve with your father in the armed forces. You tell everybody your dad was smart, and they're not going to understand how smart he was. And I want to give you a quick story. I was living with a Russian woman, and I already spoke Russian.
There it is. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. They've lost me. Candace, I am ashamed. This interview is to just make him look really good after what happened. I mean, it's still ongoing, so he's not tarnished completely yet. It's more on the matter of, all right, I thought I was going to get a little bit more pushback, Candace. There are no timestamps. So,
Today's topic, there was
we're going to, you know, all this stuff we talking about with Andrew in court cases, we just going to skip to the good part. Oh, wait. What the fuck? I take that off the screen? That's crazy.
There's a big reveal. Evidence from the Andrew Tate trial got leaked somewhere, and essentially conversations that he had in his place called the War Room, which was like, it used to be his course that he would basically sell people on to make lots of money, and he would have private conversations with these people, telling them, this is instructional on how to manipulate women into doing X work for his words. So Lasmina, who's one of the trafficking victims in the,
there's no way this motherfucker just asked me what I thought about Tucker Carlson and Ice Cube riding around South LA. I do not care.
Case against Andrew Tate, the legal one, as well as Georgina, who's his BB, which is bottom bitch. Okay, and bottom bitch is basically the woman beneath a pimp who helps recruit the other women and keep them in line. Because women trust other women a lot more, a lot of men will use these kinds of women to manipulate women. Okay, so this is the conversation. Not my words, you're gonna read it. Update on the two girls living together. So they became good friends, everything was stable. The girl who moved lost her support network at home. Cemented her move. Talking about staying forever, can't wait for me to come back, etc. Essentially, this girl moved from somewhere else to come live with Andrew. She lost her family network back home as a result, okay? So Andrew says, so I had to tighten the screw. So I said somebody in her old town told me she worked in a sex club. I literally made this up from the sky. Started calling her a liar and threatening to kick her out, but the real goal is for her to agree to never go anywhere without me, not even her hometown. I need her working, not visiting friends back in her hometown. So putting nails in that coffin, saying people are talking bad about her. So basically what he's doing in this conversation is he's working towards isolating her from her loved ones, her family and fans, so she can never go back and she has to rely on him for everything.
Yep.
Okay, so this is the conversation that he had with Jasmina privately through WhatsApp. You worked in a sex club. I did not work in a sex club. I'm not lying. Where did you get this out from? So you'd rather believe them. So she really believes other people are talking shit about her. I told you the truth. These people want me no good. I don't know who you have talked to, but I've only slept with 4 men in my life and you were one of them. I have never lied to you. You said it yourself that people will try to destroy us, break us apart. I've heard things too, but I choose to believe you and not them. Well, you probably should have believed those things. Andrew, answer me please, and tell me this is a joke, because I really don't want to believe that you mean what you're saying.
Silence.
I'm freaking crying alone in a room and you think I'm not serious? I'm tired of this so-called friends acting like friends and ruining my chance to be happy, and it hurts that you believe that. Where am I now, Andrew? Here? Why? Because I'm serious. Andrew replies, serious girls don't lie. Yes, I understand, she says. You are not going back to Tismore even to visit without me. You understand? So Tismore is where she's from, her hometown. He said, basically she told him, you're never going back. And she says, yes, I understand. My people there are telling me you talked to tons of men and worked in a sex club.
Andrew Tate kind of scares me. I don't care.
I'm not having you go back there for them to call me and tell me more shit. She replies, that's a lie, but as I said earlier, look at me. Andrew replies, you don't need to leave the house in Bucharest without either me or Georgina. We are together always. So this is how he socially isolated her. Let's go to part 2. Update on the two girls living together. If anyone doesn't know the story, ask the guys here to find out for you. So I told my girl to send me a picture. She said this. All right, so then he puts a screenshot of what she wrote him. She writes, at the same time, I have a few things, very few, but rules I can't break because I'm old-fashioned and I still believe in God. 1, I never sent a picture of me in lingerie ever. I made a promise to God and myself and I will keep it. 2, I will never do video chat or OnlyFans because my body's intimate and I only want my husband should be able to touch and see. 3, if I give you my love,
I was completely lost and I joined in later in the stream. Hey, it's fine to be lost. You see, I try. Do you notice how I try to make things at least semi-formally interesting? Just a tad bit. And you know, I went into it thinking it was going to be like a hard-hitting interview where motherfucker gets pressed on topics. I don't care about this man's dad. I don't know his dad. Pretty sure his dad might be embarrassed by him right now. Like, come on. And since I'm not getting what I thought I was going to get, I'm out and watch an Abba and Preach video. Cause you know, like Candace and Andrew said, you gotta have some sizzle. And I'm sorry, in an interview where this man is talking about his dad, when that's not the topic of conversation, ain't got no sizzle.
I'm expecting the same thing back. 4, the man I love should not hit or beat me up. This is it. If these 4 things are respected when it comes
But hey, at least y'all can't say I didn't give it a chance. I had 40 minutes in. Can't say I ain't give it a chance.
To me, then there's no way we can ever fight. I listen when I have to, I'm quiet when I'm supposed to, and I'm definitely dedicated on being a good wife, waking you up in the morning with fresh coffee and a meal, all yours and forever. This is the way I was raised. I had this on my heart the whole day, so I had to say it. You are the perfect man for me, and the man I've been dreaming to meet and have a family with since I was a kid. Now it's your turn to decide if the things change the way you see me, or if I'm still the woman you want to spend your life with. I do. Do you? So basically she's saying, don't make me out to be a whore, and don't beat me up. Those are her requirements, which I think most men watching think that's reasonable. Andrew's goal is he flies these women out, he makes them fall in love with him, he uses sex as a manipulation tool, per his words, not me.
I use sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house and make me money. That's what I wanted. So yeah,
That's crazy. Isn't this one of these old clips that's taken out of context? That's crazy.
Corporate TikTok call my PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree that I'm clever. That teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me. You're always working. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So I have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. It's okay. I know you don't want to do that, but listen. Come and let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. Let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear from the girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
Am I crazy for thinking, like, all of this talking and being braggadocious about it is going to lead to him having problems in court trying to explain himself? I feel like that's going to be the downfall. Like, he has to try to explain all these clips, like, if they use them in court. I don't know if they do.
Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me.
And then these were women who've never done adult work. They've never been interested in doing adult work, but he would find ways to isolate them from their friends and family, make them go broke, and then try to get them into the cam business so he can make a profit off them. So regardless of either whether you think that's legal or not, it's got to be some evil shit. To isolate somebody from their friends and family just so you can make financial gain?
This video is brought to you by Surfshark.
No matter where I'm at,
Jesus
right?
Christ,
Whether it's in my house or...
This sounds like a hard target for cams or OnlyFans, right? So let's take bets. Will I get her to work? Anonymous poll. So basically he's asking the people in the group chat, do you think she's gonna get to work for me after seeing that message? And one of the guys replies, yeah, that isolation is critical. I have no experience in this realm, but I would try to be good cop, bad cop. This is from Mac J, one of the people who are part of the war room. Act deeply hurt by her refusal. Flip it on her and get her to start feeling guilty or cry. Then have my BB, bottom bitch, ask why she's upset, tell her how religious she used to be and how easy fun camming is. Again, never had to do anything like this, but maybe it works. And then Tate replies, close. I'm actually going to add a layer of separation. I will use Georgina, as the bottom bitch and pretend I don't care. Either way, she can't attack me for tricking her. She looks super...
I just got back to Candace fold. Listen, I gave it a chance. 40 minutes in, they talking about his dad. Nobody care. Or at least I don't care. It's funny because they went on to talk about how, oh, you got to be captivating. These conservatives don't know how to be captivating in society. That's why they lose. Boy, that came back to bite her in her ass because I was not captivated by that at all.
Super adamant about not doing this. She even made bullet points. I still bet yes because you're a top G, but it would be super impressive to see it in action. So basically these guys are just discussing how they're going to traffic these women and get them to do the cam work.
Well, as a course, right?
There's a course to it, but this group chat's just private. For the select few who want to be human traffickers, I guess, and have girls do cam for them. So Tate in this says, another element, since she's moved, she's been fed, but nothing else. She's broke, she can't go home, she can't leave the house. Man, I almost sound evil, but I'm not. I'm a shepherd leading the sheep. Tate goes on to say, so now I know she's broke, and I know what I believe the objections to be. My plan is to use Georgina as a bottom bitch to convince her I don't give a shit if she cams, but the only way she will have serious money is if she does. Isolate her from her friends and family, make her dependent on you, give her food, and tell her the only way she can make money is if she does the camming stuff, because she's not allowed to leave the house without you. So he asks her, let her panic a little bit. Remember, she asks for money now. That's scary for her. And I'd come back with, yes, we need to be together, but every girl in Romania asks me for money. I know you're not like them, are you? Make her qualify herself as not a gold digger. And she says, no, I'm not. Then come in with, we're going to be traveling together. I'm working from home, my phone. We're a team. You're going to listen to me and work from your phone too. Send her a pic of an Ibiza beach. Ibiza is an island if you're unaware. And because Cam has been soft floated before, I'd go for a hard close. If outright refuse, don't reply. Let her sit broke to think. So basically, if you don't reply to the offer or she's not down, then don't reply and make her worried because she's in love with you. One of the guys writes, Tateism in a sentence. It's all beautiful. A beautiful game of chess. So these guys are in a group chat really bragging about manipulating women into...
That's nerd shit.
This is her talking to Georgina, the ex-cop who's his bottom bitch.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think
that's exactly what you said on your website.
That's crazy. See how this is more interesting than learning about his dad? Raise your hands. Who gives a damn about his dad? I don't mean to be rude, but his dad's no longer on the earth. So realistically, he's not a factor in the equation. He's a story to tell to make him look more sympathetic, which is fine. business tactic, legal tactic for some. But it's not captivating. It's not.
No, I've never said that.
Okay, so that's the general gist of the conversations. Considering everything else we've seen from this guy in regards to some of the stuff he said, what do you think?
Well, a lot of videos I've seen about him and the interviews that I've seen, he's denying everything.
Yeah.
It's very weird. It's easily provable. Like, is it because you're trying to save face or whatever? Or you're trying to, I don't know. I don't know. We don't know. But he did say that in his chat on his website, on courses that he has. Like, they took computers. Yeah. Even if you delete something off your computer, they have ways to retrieve all that stuff, right? So it's not really looking good, because that's just one thing that got out, right? And they're not just basing themselves on that. They got
way more.
And it's not just, when I first I thought it was one country. It's not one country. It's actually 3 countries that are talking about that. It's like, it's a lot to manage. Just when one country is against you and you've been talking shit about that country, when 3 are working together to take you down, man.
Yeah, I'll say this. Those conversations, from what I understand, have been authenticated. I guess it's part of what DICOT, the people who are prosecuting Tate, found. And there's probably way more of that since this leak only now. The fact that they have that is very telling for me. That looks like textbook manipulation and fraud. The fact that he was offering these women marriage with the sole intention of turning them into webcam workers. The things and the tactics he was using to isolate them from friends and family in order to make sure he could brainwash them. Yeah. And absolutely. He's taking young and impressionable women for that very reason. I have no problem. This falls right under the textbook definition of lover boy method. Before, I was like 80% sure he's guilty. Now I'm 100%.
You see how this is more captivating? You see how you're captivated? And you're not bored from him sitting there talking about his dad playing chess all day? Who cares about chess? That's a white man's sport. Feel me? Oh my.
Sure. When I see messages like these, and people can't say, "Oh, Abba, you don't know if it's a character or if he really did that shit." So what? Even in private conversation, this guy's also making it up. Some of you guys gotta stop coping. Y'all want to talk about the fact that women aren't very logical? You guys are bending over backwards, breaking the real boundaries of reality just to believe something you want to believe. It's fine to say Tate was a good influence in your life and he offered you good advice. I don't even mind. It's very possible that's true.
What is the possibility?
It doesn't change the fact that the 2 things can be true at the same time. He was good for you in terms of your development as a man. He said some true things. And 2 to 3, he's a sex trafficker. And everything I've heard from his own mouth, his own private conversations, tells me that's what he is.
R. Kelly made some banging beats. He peed on underage people.
Whoa, I believe I could fly. I believe I could touch the sky.
A lot of people in the comments were talking about, yeah, but why are we going after him when other companies and other people have been doing that? The difference with him is that he's not only doing that with other people, but monetizing his tactics to do that to other people, which makes it worse. People are going to want to crack down on that. You understand what I'm saying? It makes it even worse. It's worse that you're trafficking people, but you're monetizing not only the trafficking, but you're monetizing the fact that, hey, let me show you how. And it's creating other people. They actually, whenever there's something like, we're talking about drugs or any gang-related things or anything, they want the top G.
PG, if you didn't watch that entire thing, please don't tell me what Candace was doing, because you have a weird habit of not watching anything and then speaking as a matter of fact. So if you didn't watch that entire 3-hour thing, please don't tell me what Candace was doing. Where's Moral? I think Moral, tell the truth. Go get Moral. Go get Moral. I think Moral watched it. I know I said earlier, though. I know I said like last night. Don't be spoiling that, but I might need something out of this, because ain't no way. Nah.
They want the person, the one that produces all the little ones, the little minions and things. Whether it's drugs, they're not gonna go after the little guy, even though there's a lot of people that are selling the drugs. They're gonna go after the top G and turn these little ones against that top one so we can get the top one. That's what's gonna happen. And in that case, he's the one that's creating other people. So of course they're going after him.
I'll say this.
That's a really good question. I'm charged with being the head of an organized criminal group, which is in charge of recruiting girls to make TikTok videos.
They face charges which include human trafficking and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit them.
OnlyFans is the best hustle in the world. They're accusing me of using the lover boy method, coercing them by being nice.
I wasn't sure about some of the other charges, but just listening to how little regard he has for these people, knowing they would never want to do this work and manipulating them, isolating from their friends and family, making sure that they got zero access to money, using every tactic in the book to dehumanize them and make sure they're the lowest of the lows, it wouldn't surprise me if he raped them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it did happen, but considering how he talks about Georgina, considering the text that they said about her threatening these women with violence, right? He's directly responsible for that. The same way when they come after a criminal organization, the head boss is responsible for what the lackeys do, right? That's why when they bring a RICO charge or they're doing something against organization, everybody going to jail for the murders, right? Because even though you didn't do it, the people under you did it for the benefit of the group. Georgina, when she makes those threats of violence,
anyways, gotta go.
She's doing it on behalf of
Bye,
the
PG.
So that's why they're getting charged as an organization.
And if he's the top person of that organization and they can prove that, well then he's the one that's gonna go down. So that's why.
Yeah. Would you think there would be this much skepticism or this much weirdness about the whole thing if this was children involved? Isolating them, doing all this stuff?
No.
Can I ask you? And let's say you're right. You know what? Let me concede to you guys. Let's say they aren't sympathetic victims and they shouldn't be sympathetic. That's fine. Just because they're not, should we not charge the person who's scamming and defrauding them? The person who's luring them in with promises of marriages and doing all this shit to try to push them into a life they didn't want?
Yeah.
Right? I think I heard Destiny say that, but he's just like, you know, older people should know better, but they still are the ones most likely to be scammed by psychics and everything else. Should we abandon them to the scammers just because they should have known better?
No, we should go to the scammers. Because scammers are going to scam, and that's what they do.
I'm just saying, I don't understand this line of like thinking either. Whereas these women are clearly being victimized by someone who's trying to fuck them over and defrauding them, okay? Stealing their money and their income.
And over time, I just built up this big little empire of webcam girls. At one point, I had 4 locations, 75 girls working for me. I'd take around half of the money, around 50.
You take 50%.
Around 50%. They thought they were on 50%. And I said that the disparity was because of taxes.
Self-admittedly, right? Luring them away from their friends and family, doing all this stuff and promising life of marriage, which that's trafficking. We should still charge them, irrespective of whether or not these women were gullible or not. And if it was a man in this situation being lured, I would want the same thing. But that's me.
Yeah, but bro, they're whores. Gold diggers.
That's what they gonna say.
Tough, not the whores. Not the whore. You see? Do you not... Wait a minute. Do we not see how that was infinitely more entertaining? Do we not see that? That was infinitely more entertaining. Why? Because when you boil it all down, some people don't care. It's easy. Click on your stream. No, you're not going to hear double speak. But like, bro, this is infinitely more engaging and fucking interactive. Because what in the fuck was the rest of this shit? I'm going to watch Spider-Man. Do it. It's what most Americans should do in this world now. Watch Spider-Man. Look, I'm playing as a Spider-Man character. You see? Feel me? But like, Romanian taxes are like 10%. Definitely think he's guilty. Speaking of the stream light, I mean, essentially, you know, you sitting in here, you enjoying what I've shown so far, you know what I'm saying? You could like the stream, you know what I'm saying? 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 I think you greatly understand what I'm saying. Shut up, Ava. Not here to play you again. Buffoon. Like, on what grounds? Like, realistically, think about it. Was I supposed to be... of course, the allure of Candace Owens interviewing Andrew Tate is supposed to be something to captivate. It's supposed to be something. It's supposed to be something that you would think is engaging and that we would actually see and understand is something that, yo, actually, this seems like it'd be pretty nice, pretty fire, you know what I'm saying? But no. But no. It did not. I want to see something. I want to prove my point further. Oh, actually, I also want to show y'all something. I want to show you something that y'all might not have seen. Don't blame me that it's coming out of one ear. Andrew Garfield's My Spider-Man. You live a sad life. Look at the smiles on select people's faces. That's our good buddy Carly Smollett about to turn her, either turning herself in. Oh, she left her attorney's office. I don't know why I'm sitting there thinking like it's something different. She left her attorney's office. She went to go turn herself in. And, woman is now and this is the mugshot. Wait, I think I could get one. I think I could get a better one. I truly think I could get a better one. Hold on. Yep, I can. She's smiling way too much for that. That's crazy. Why is she smiling? This ain't the Barbie movie, bro. You gotta think about it. Let me put you in the mind of somebody this damn dumb. She probably thinks she's just gonna walk out scot-free. Who knows? She might not. I would never smile in a mugshot. Can't be, won't ever be. You know what I'm saying? Smiling in a mugshot, not the option. She a baddie. Oh no. Well, this should prove to y'all, no matter what wrong you do on this earth, somebody is still gonna fuck you. And that truly is crazy. She might get community service. I mean, that's what I see it. I feel like she not getting arrested. I mean, she not going to jail. Like, she's not going to jail. I feel like she's going to pay a big ass fine, and then that's going to be the end of it. I think Crime Stoppers should give back all that money. Why? Because why are they keeping that money? There's no reason they should be keeping that money. And let's be honest and be real. You know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all want to see a cursed image? Y'all remember all those great TikTok lives from like a week ago? Well, this is what they've become. This is what they've become. This is what they've become. And I, like many of you, even though I can't hear your voices right now, I can understand that we are all in agreement that this has to stop. Enough is enough. I've even uploaded a new YouTube short. You all want to see? You all want to see the new YouTube short that went live like 3 minutes ago?
Roses thing for roses.
I'm not gonna say a word.
Master coming. You wild! I gotta get out of here.
Enough. Okay? Honestly, enough. We had our fun. It was funny. It was weird. It was cringy. We were supposed to come to a point where somebody died from this, and then we all realized that this TikTok trend was something dangerous and kids shouldn't be doing it. But now it's just corny. It's lame. It's boring. Wrap it up. It's time for a new TikTok trend. Because that is fucking embarrassing. Damn, he was spitting facts just now though. Like, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Is this shit not corny? Is this not corny to some of y'all? Buddy really just like, you know, I'm gonna look at these NPC TikToks and I'm gonna be so, but hey, let this be another reminder to y'all. It's captivating. You see how infinitely more engaged we are in this chat? Do you see how much more we're engaged in the chat now than when we were listening to fucking Candace Owens talk about motherfucker's dad? Did you see what I tagged you on Twitter? More than likely not. Ice creams. That's crazy. This is why I drink and smoke so much. I'm bewildered. I do not promote that unhealthy lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Our favorite NPC streamer broke character, and it was, are you talking about Spider-Man? I saw that way before you tagged me in that. And oh, class, would you all like to see? Is this the perfect way to book? I think I found the best way to bookend the trend of NPC TikToks. I think I figured out the best way. I need to find it. I think I've truly found the best way for this TikTok. All these NPC TikTok trends, they've reached their crescendo in the best way possible. We all know about as I hit gold in ranked Fortnite, because fuck, I never knew there was a ranked Fortnite. Our good buddy, the Spider-Man NPC. The Spider-Man NPC. He did another stream live in public. And you know, I'm just gonna let it play.
Hey, thanks for the gummies. Hey, fuck nigga, what you said?
Whoa! My man, you a little bit too aggressive, big buddy. Oh my God.
What you said, fuck nigga?
Whoa!
Hey, what you said, fuck nigga?
Whoa!
You said don't stoop to that low. What you said, fuck nigga?
Whoa!
Hey, come here.
Come here. Let me knock your teeth out, nigga. Bitch
Whoa.
ass boy.
Whoa.
Bitch ass boy.
Whoa.
Come here. Let me do
Whoa.
my nerdy shit in peace before I beat your ass, nigga.
Whoa.
Fuck wrong with you? These niggas think I'm weak or some shit. I'll beat the fuck out you. Walk away, white boy. Walk away, pussy boy.
Not the white boy.
Fuck wrong with you, nigga? Nigga can't just be on some nerdy shit, bro, without some nigga coming up to me, bro. Make this shit go viral, bro. The fuck? That shit is annoying, nigga. God damn. Fucking pussy boy.
Wow. Y'all wanna know the best part of this whole thing? Hold on.
I'm just trying to be a nerd in fucking peace, nigga. God damn. Hey, it's me.
You just go right back to do it. The man just go right back to doing it. Mans ain't stop. He ain't skip a beat. He just went right back. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's hilarious. Hey. Props to this man, bro. I respect it. He said, you know what? Fuck it. Y'all gonna fuck with my day? I'm a break character. I'm not gonna stop. He got, wait. I don't know if y'all can see it, but at the top, he got 1.1K people watching the live stream. They watching that live. They watch the whole thing live. This man jumped to 3,000, man. We found what Leon does in his spare time. Get bent. You crazy. YouTube. Oh, speaking of which, I gotta say this just because all that explicit language was just said. YouTube, I did not say those things. I was showing this for comedic value. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, I was showing this for comedic value. So leave your boy alone. Leave your boy alone. Please leave me be. Leon was educating us. Yeah, I wasn't even educating. I just wanted to show that. I just wanted to show that because it was funny. I don't condone his use of violent language. I just wanted to broadcast something that was very funny, you know? You know what I'm saying? I gotta, what's today? Saturday? I learned a lot though. Oh God. Don't. What did the other people say to him? I think they said, and I'm trying to remember. I think they told him, don't stoop that low. Hold on, let me see. Let's go back to the beat. I think they said, don't stoop that low, bro.
Oh, don't stoop to that low.
I think he said, don't stoop to that level or don't stoop that low. Which, you know, you run the risk of people saying that to you when you're doing TikTok lives in public. I'm just saying. I could also say mind your business, mind your manners, because, you know, you walking along like the sidewalk and he doing that, you know, he minding his business. He ain't bothering nobody. Now, see, it'd be a whole different story if he was like doing these NPC lives and he was walking up to people like being like, yo, what's going on? And he's just like bothering them. I can understand that. But if he's just like sitting somewhere in public in like a corner doing it, boo-hoo. What's really gonna be the spice and the sizzle with that? Nothing. You know? Mind your business, sir. He's asking people to say something. I mean, people gonna say something regardless. It's like you run that risk when you do this in public. You see in the overwhelming majority of these TikTok NPC streams, it's in their own kitchen or it's in like the bathroom somewhere. They're not doing it in broad daylight. And when you do that type of stuff in broad daylight, of course, somebody gonna be like, you weird, corny looking as all hell. Like, and I can understand being frustrated because it's like, you making money. You really, you, regardless of what anybody try to say and try to convince me about how corny this is, like, I'll agree it's corny. Hey, these people making bread. So it's like, I'm not really gonna have too much to say because majority of people complaining wish they was getting the amount of money they was getting from doing these. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my stake in the game don't really match. Heckin plus Leon, 25 years strong. No. He likes Canadian bacon. No. No. He likes Canadian bacon. And that form of blasphemy will not be tolerated. Not in my great country of America. You know what I'm saying? As it said, was a traditional movie theater. What? As it said, was a traditional movie theater sign. There were neon lights. I don't even know where he was at. Realistically, I don't even care. Because, you know, he went right back to making or doing the live stream. So he was fine with it. Canadian bacon is a myth. I agree. Canadian bacon is a myth. It is a distraction. It's a hive mind mentality. It is propaganda. It is a false state of affairs. Leon could corner the market in NPC videos. Please do one at a train station. There's a joke there somewhere that I'm not catching. I'm sure of it. There's a joke there that I'm not catching. Shame.
I took your money, bitch. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of my room and kill yourselves. We're done here.
Wow. What a great emote. I said emote. Oh, man. I have a screenshot of my local store's bacon and it's the real stuff, but I just let Leon continue to lie. Listen, you haven't produced that screenshot. So, you know, I feel as though you're lying to me. I feel as though you're not telling me the truth of what it is you seek in this world, my boy. I feel like you're trying to deceive me. Murder. Wow. You know, I'm gonna put this on the screen. No context, just murdered woman's head stolen from her grave in sick witchcraft ritual. And it's like, you can only like see headlines like this and just stop. You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing but just like stop. I'm not even, I don't even care. I'm not gonna say like I don't care. I'm stunned. Like, it's one of them occasions where you see something and you are immediately stunned by what you see because, like, what? Like, exactly, Ahsoka. What? Like, you can't have no other reaction to that other than saying what? Like, there's nothing. There's nothing else you can say to that other than what? Because who's dedicating time? Who? Why are you dedicating? That's the better question. Why art thou dedicating time to stealing heads from grave sites? You lose me there. You lose me in a lot of places, but you definitely lose me there. You lose me in many places. You definitely lost me there. Oh, I knocked one. Now I gotta go down there and get my kill. Tell the truth. Why did you word this tweet like this? Why did you sit there and be like, oh, inquiring minds want to know where you at? Like, what? Why couldn't you just be like, yo, what did you think of the Candace Owens thing? Give us a brief summary. You had to be that corny about it? Like, damn. I see why Andrew Tate market off motherfuckers like you. Y'all don't know how to talk. Jesus Christ. And that's coming from somebody who struggles to communicate in any effective manner. Jesus Christ. Whoa, that's an ass. Because, motherfucker. I'm about to lose my fucking gold rank. This is crazy. They dug up a corpse from a grave, is going to use the head for a ritual, then return it in like a month when the full moon happens. Why? I don't even want to read that. I'm not going to dedicate time to reading that. I instead am going to continue furthering to prove my point and agenda about things. The missing headline might be intense, but the one about a man transforming into a dog got me in the stun lock. I don't see why. That's somebody who spent time, money, and effort turning into a dog. Like what? We'll be so shocked by. Make mental hospitals great again. As somebody who was Baker acted, I can tell you that some of them are fine. Some of them, you know, kind of good. Others, not so much. Oh, let me further prove my agenda.
The whole fucking roof down. That's why generally governmental charges from like big organizations.
Aren't you already more captivated? You know what I'm saying? Like, which Andrew Tate vid we won't go through now? How many Andrew? Matter of fact, Brittany Venti. I want y'all to watch this. For anybody in here who thinks like this guy right here is like some beacon. Wait, is he actually a dog? No, he just spent. Damn it! Now I gotta. Damn it! Damn it! Who is that guy? It's the godfather of the red pill, dude. What do you mean? What do you mean, bro? He's gonna show you all. So yeah, this is it. Man spends $15K on a high-tech dog costume to fulfill his dream of being a dog. Like, this is it. This is all it is. This is it. This is a very short man if this is the size that he's in. Like, this is what he did. This is what he spent money on. He has a wife. So, you know, that tells me that one day I'll find love. Because if anybody's willing to put up with that, you know, maybe somebody will love me, you know. That's a dedicated furry. Absolutely. He's got limbs surgically attached to his suit. Well, I don't believe that. I really just think he spent money on some things realistic to look realistic, and he just gets on all fours all day. That's truly what it is. I truly think he's just on all fours all day, which, you know, one day, but Leon, time is a construct. Hold on, let me unmod you so I can ban you for that dumbass statement. I hate you. 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 Heckin', damn you. All right. Back to his name reminds me of pasta. Isn't it like Wouldn't y'all said his name was Roll? I don't care.
Oh, Lauren Southern, Lila Rose, Erudite. Yeah, Erudite's another one. Brittany Venti. Oh man, I got some things to say about Brittany. They are all gynocentrists who only care for what's best for women. Of course they are. They're all feminists. Every one of those girls that you mentioned are feminists.
Being called a feminist by the red pill manosphere sect of the internet, like Rollo Tomasi, is like being called a racist on Twitter. The word has really lost its power. But according to Rollo Tomasi, or should I say George, not only am I a feminist, but also a Christian.
They are conservatives, and we're good Orthodox Catholics, and we're good Bible worshiping, Bible reading Christians, and we go to Bible study.
I'm not a Christian, but it goes to show how much research he does on the people he so confidently speaks on. Rollo, or George, confidently accusing people of labels really confirms that everyone I don't like is a feminist is the new everyone I don't like is a racist. It's not meant to be taken seriously, and especially not from a discount Tom Likas.
Do you think that marriage is any good for women either? Statistics show that when the divorce happens, it's not particularly good for them.
Women have a lot more to gain from divorce. 90% of the custody goes to women. Child custody. If you want to be with your kids, guess who's getting the kid? Not guys, not you. bottom line. And then guys are going to be paying that child support. And what is alimony? And why, or now they changed the name of it to spousal support. Why are we paying that? What for what?
There's no real accountability, particularly when it's like no fault divorce. And of course, it's always in the woman's favor, especially if she has kids, there's child support, there's alimony.
But you don't have to take my word for it, because George himself lists Tom Leykis as his inspiration for his ideology on women and dating.
Really, back in 2001, I started listening to a terrestrial radio show host named Tom Leykis, who I really liked at the time, and Friends and Wives
And George's inspiration, Tom Leykis, self-describes as a feminist because it helps him get laid without having to commit or have children. I'm a hardcore feminist. This is why I never buy dinner for women, help pay their bills, or help raise their children from other guys. Women are equal. Looking forward to the next gal who will be paying for dinner. I love equality. God, he's such a dusty. It's kind of ironic though, isn't it? George has cultivated an internet following on the part of the internet where he is self-proclaimed to be the father of. This internet ghetto is referred to as the red pill manosphere.
I am not red pill adjacent. I am in the red pill. I am the father of the red pill.
You call yourself the godfather.
Corny. You see, when I make the joke like I'm a doctor, professor, philanthropist, that is comedic. That is not to be serious. That man genuinely believes that. Corny.
The red pill. You call myself the godfather of the manosphere, okay? Other people have called me that.
Okay, great. That's very.
Do you understand?
Okay.
George saves men from those evil women and is literally saving their lives.
And so when we see that happen, we see guys are like, yeah, oh man, women are really fucked up. And when we look at that, that's sensational. What we don't look at is the success stories where guys go, you know what? I was going to kill myself. And now I decided not to because now I have accurate information because I'm red pill aware right now.
The red pill manosphere is infamous for their bad takes on women in dating, such as Modern Life Dating or MLD's take on how you should endure physical harm from your spouse.
If there's someone that's very, very young and goes into a marriage and has kids when they're like 18, 19, 20, a year into the relationship, it gets really, really abusive. If it would happen, what would you recommend for those people? Would they divorce or do you want them to keep going in the relationship?
Keep going. You can't divorce, and that's not a real thing.
Even though it might be like physically abusive?
You gotta endure.
Okay, endure. And of course, this is somebody that George is friends with.
But I know that they've been trying to, like, they've been coming for everybody recently. They've been going after MLD is easy. He's too easy. Like I love John, but he's easy to get.
Not only is George a Tom Leykis wannabe, but even in the said red pill community he claims to have cultivated, he's known as a wannabe cool kid.
What do you think the beef that Rollo has with Tate?
Earlier on, before Tate was huge, Rollo and Tate were doing some podcasts together. And once Tate didn't rock up, he's a busy guy, Rollo was so upset and so emotional. What I saw in Rollo was the geeky kid who was allowed to hang out with the cool kids, but then the cool kids snubbed him. Rollo was so upset. And that's what you see right there. You see a geeky kid who's cool now, but of course Tate's cooler. All these people who are looking at him as the godfather of red pill, if that is your role model, someone who's acting in a feminine frame, who's basically a geeky nobody, who's...
It is convenient that this is being said to, of all people, a geek named Sneeko.
...written a book and then talks a lot. That's an individual without any sort of stoicism, without any masculine values.
George will take every opportunity he can to humble brag, usually by name dropping or saying that other people are name dropping him.
Adam's known who I am for a long time. People have dropped my name on his show several times. I know that Ethan Klein knows who I am, clearly knows who I am. I know a lot of people who, like the guys in the guys on Flagrant 2. They know my name as well.
His self-importance comes from other people validating him, and it shows.
I think what's interesting is, like, whenever I get interviewed, people try to pretend like they know what they're talking about me, and they'll go, "You're the author of The Rational Male, right?" Yeah, all 5 books. At least do me the courtesy and say, you know what? We know that you have 5 books.
Don't you know I created the red pill? How do you not know who I am?
I've been doing this for 20 freaking years. People don't, they'll quote me or they'll use terminology that they've heard from my book or something I said at some point that somebody else, third party might have said, but they don't realize where it came from. And the reason for that is because I don't sell prescriptions. If I was like Tony Robbins and said, hey guys, let's all, feel better about ourselves and put ourselves first, that sells tickets to, sell out arenas.
Why do you not know who I am? I should be famous. I'm the OG. Me.
That's out of my 4th book, which nobody seems to want to read.
Never heard of this guy. I mean, fuck. The only reason I know about this guy is because there's another video, which I might show, where he is the ultimate meat rider. I'm going to show that after we're done here. That man is the ultimate meat rider.
Well, why are people buying my books even though I leave it under the reply of every tweet? Wah! He's really upset about not being popular like those other red pill guys who do sensationalist stuff unlike him. He wants to be famous for creating a community that uses woke feminist tactics like censorship. For example, Fresh and Fit copy striking ABBA and Preach, or Just Pearly Things copy striking Sarah Garvey. Or how George says that he will nuke your platform if you invite someone on that he personally does not like.
You spring somebody on me, expect me to say words on your show that will get you banned from YouTube. I'll tell you that right now. Expect me to say that. Expect me to start talking about the Germans.
Instead of having an absolute melty, why don't you just leave? George is like 50 years old threatening to have a melty. He's essentially threatening to take your income away and go off the rails because you made him look bad. Personally, I would think twice before having him on a show and risking my livelihood. This internet ghetto is also renowned for expressing their disdain for the other gender and not being wanted by them. It's kind of like when woke feminists say that if you don't date them, you're XYZ phobic, even if you personally just find them unattractive. Or in the red pill manosphere's case, it's women having too high standards and not wanting to endure their personalities. Oh, you wouldn't want to be with someone like that? I'm shocked. The manosphere gives young boys and men dating advice, sometimes under the guise of self-improvement, and usually it's something about how to attract women.
Show of hands if you're single. Okay. Now, show of hands.
Fucking hate that damn sound. That sound alert is bothersome to the soul.
If you want to do the Myron approach and have multiple wives. Okay.
All these people just raised their hand. Y'all can't even get one woman. How y'all gonna get multiple wives? I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm dying. I'm ill. I cannot breathe. This is terrible. This is terrible. How? You raise your hand saying you single and you want to go the approach of somebody who's also single who doesn't have one wife. And you're gonna try to get multiple wives? What? I'm sick.
Now,
motherfuckers who can't get one girl want to have multiple.
The absolute degeneracy
Thank you.
and high standards that they claim to hate about feminism is absolutely rampant.
What do you think about Pearly thinking 16-year-old girls are hotter than 26-year-olds? I mean, listen, look at the market she makes money off of. Of course they're gonna agree with her. They're gonna think that. And she's one of these weirdos who's like, oh, stand on what you believe. Don't delete things. And she'll sit there and quote being like, oh, I delete things just because I want to. No, you deleted them because morally what you tweeted was possibly one of the dumbest things you could have possibly tweeted, which is saying something coming from that woman. And then she made a song about questioning Jewish people, and she got mad because Piers Morgan brought that up in a recent interview. It's like, you get what you asked for. Like, do y'all not realize it? You get what you fucking asked for.
In these parts. And worst of all, the red pill manosphere has co-opted my favorite movie, The Matrix, which is why criticizing them is met with their response of, everyone I don't like is part of the Matrix. Even if you're very vocal on opposing woke ideology.
I just like to say, like, anybody, I don't care if you red pill, I don't care if you're a feminist, y'all have all ruined that movie for me. I've never even watched that movie. The interest I had in watching that movie died because of you idiots.
They don't really care. It's very much a us versus them mentality. You're either with them or you're against them.
That's the problem. You want to fight against the Matrix? Don't look at this guy. Look at the Hollywood moguls who are telling you that Margot Robbie should be Barbie.
In this video, George talks about Margot Robbie being casted as Barbie and how she is too old to play Barbie, and how her being 32 years old in the film as opposed to 25 is literally the same thing as race swapping a character.
If you had a problem with miscasting of, let's say, a black woman as what, Marie Antoinette, I'm trying to think of some other, like, where we're doing like sort of like either gender swaps or we're doing like racial swaps. If you have a problem with that, you should have a problem with Margot Robbie as well.
And if you
that's no. You can't compare a pointless race swap to a casting call. There's no problem with a woman playing Barbie. Is it her age? Or do we really want to go the route of saying this person cannot play this role because of how old they are? Because I would like for all of you to pay attention to what Disney, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and several shows have been doing for decades.
If you don't view her being 32 as opposed to 25 as literally being the same as a race swap, well, then you're kicked out of the club.
Because I got all these guys who were formerly red pill, now suddenly they're playing sneaky fucker game. The same game that they criticize other guys, male feminists. You're basically a male feminist right now, guys. How dare you? You're a disgrace to the manosphere. You're a disgrace to give me your badge. Turn in your man card.
The redheaded libertarian ran a poll on if 25-year-old Margot Robbie is hotter or 33-year-old Margot Robbie is hotter. So I did an identical poll, except for one thing. I switched the photos, and it turns out that people can't tell the difference. Out of over 4,000 votes, 67.5% of voters voted for 25-year-old Margot Robbie, which was actually 33-year-old Margot Robbie. Redheaded Libertarians poll, which had 11,000 votes, had almost identical results to my poll, where 66.9% of voters voted that 33-year-old Margot Robbie was hotter. In both instances, they voted 33-year-old Margot Robbie as more attractive. But I guess they're all feminists too, right? This whole situation reminds me of that one subreddit where people post photos of themselves to be rated on how attractive they are, and when beautiful women are posted, the Redditors have to humble them. You could be a fallen angel and they'll be like, 4 out of 10. And the moderators of this subreddit will literally ban people for giving too high of a rating. You gave an attractive girl a 7 out of 10? You better watch your step, bud. They're trying to humble these women because by doing that, they personally don't have to self-improve to get to the woman's level. They can instead bring her down to their own level. And that seems...
It's true. And then y'all wonder why these women don't like y'all.
Sentiment is what I get from the manosphere as well. If I were a Red Pill manosphere podcaster, I'd probably say something like, these modern men are defeminizing women. They expect to get hot women out of their league, go 50-50 with them, and then expect to get 3 wives when they can't even pay for the meal of 1. What makes you, a balding, broke, fat loser, think that they deserve that? You think that you deserve 3 hot women when you can't even afford to pay for dinner? These modern men are absolutely delusional. Trinkle. A lot of you really need to wash your ass, which is why today's video is sponsored by Reed Street Soap. You deserve a soap that looks as good as it smells.
Hey, I want a one-on-one with you, Rollo. But just understand it's going to be about $1,000 an hour because that's what my time is worth these days.
$1,000 an hour, dick.
And I'll be happy to analyze your situation and give you a more detailed thing. But
yeah, he's helping men, all right. He's helping them.
Wait, but I thought he wasn't charging prescriptions. I don't think he said prescriptions, but I thought he wasn't charging people. I thought he was like about actually helping. Huh?
Their wallets. Has anybody actually been desperate enough to spend $1,000 for an hour of his time? OnlyFans girl.
Yes! There's a woman who tweeted yesterday that she spent $1,000 on a class with Kevin Samuels, and it was the most mind-boggling thing in the world to be. Drastically one of the most mind-boggling things in the world. So it's possible. It's a thing.
Girls on Red Pill podcasts get humbled for overvaluing themselves all the time for asking for guys that make 6 figures. George is way more delusional than those girls. For perspective, in America, an average therapist makes like $90 to $150 an hour. A really good one might make like $250. So you're telling me that George is worth 4 times more than a good therapist is. But you know what? Maybe I'm just not Red Pill aware enough.
Because I'm Red Pill aware right now.
You would think with how much he charges, he wouldn't feel the need to lie for clicks. Like how he lied about Jordan Peterson's daughter, Michaela Peterson. Michaela confronts George on her podcast about how he read a Twitter thread about her with a list of rumors that he didn't bother to fact check before making judgments and statements about it on his stream.
So in your video, you said, oh, she brought her dad to Russia, and then while he was in the hospital, went off and, partied with Andrew Tate, which wasn't right because that was 3 months earlier. I just wanted to clarify that.
Well, that's the information that I had available to me.
And he didn't say sorry to her. He was just kind of like, oh well. And that lack of accountability shows up again when Michaela Peterson confronts him about him comparing her to Casey Anthony.
And so I stopped taking birth control just in case it was. But yeah, I did stop taking it, and that ended up resulting in Scarlett, who I'm thrilled to have, but it definitely put a bit of a kibosh on the direction I thought my life was going to take. However, it ended up not being a negative thing. It ended up being a positive thing, but it was scary.
Put a kibosh on my personal life. Sound like killed a party? Sure does to me.
I didn't like the comparison that you made between me and Casey Anthony, who murdered her kid and then put her in the trunk so that she could go party. I thought that was not very nice.
And what's his justification of lying about her and misrepresenting her? Well, it gets clicks.
I'm not saying that that's what you wanted to do, okay? I'm just using Casey Anthony as one prime example of that. I use other examples as well.
Well, the thumbnail did have me, and I do thank you for picking a good picture of me, by the way, but it did have me and then killed to party.
Well, let me explain to you the dynamics of thumbnail creation, which you maybe already know. But when you put people's face on there, when you put people's recognizable faces on there, when you have to see the whites of their eyes, and you're not the first one I've ever done this with, by the way, that's simply how you get impressions on YouTube right now.
He has absolutely no shame and wussies out anytime he's confronted.
Again, I think a lot of people, when they watch that, they think that I was making a hit piece or an attack piece on you. So it's more of like an illustration rather than like, oh, I'm going to take you down. So when I say, the bigger the hoop, the bigger the hope. Hoop earrings, duly noted. Thank you very much. So if I do hashtag hoop earrings, there you go.
He's a tough guy until a woman confronts him. That's not very high value alpha male of him.
But, like before we jump in here, it's like my point is not like to destroy Lauren Southern, but it's just to sort of clear the air. And I try not to anyways, make it a personal attack, but that doesn't mean that everybody in the chat isn't like, oh man, she looks like a 12-year-old boy.
Mr. I don't try to do personal attacks proceeds to tweet that live streamer Destiny and Lauren have a love child. What is the evidence based on? Well, George did a live stream where he reads the email of Lauren Southern's ex-husband, but take notice how George provides no evidence, especially on his claim about Lauren Southern being pregnant.
Destiny was her ticket to getting back in the YouTuber game. I had received information that they were hanging out a lot when her US travel ban was lifted. They started sleeping with each other as he is in some kind of relationship like that. Lauren then got pregnant, and it was a girl. They just started formalizing the relationship as, I guess, there's a kid involved.
He's clearly okay with doing personal attacks. He just doesn't want to take the responsibility.
I would just like to take a moment for us to acknowledge Big Penis is in the room. He's in the building. Glad that we got that out the way.
For it.
There's your third party. I'm the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. I just work here, man.
And this is the same guy that gets uppity about holding modern women accountable.
When you're making an example of people, or when you are holding women accountable, or you're having a debate with somebody.
But when it's time for him to be held accountable, he just does the cop out. Well, I just work here.
I don't know. I just work here, man. I'm just reporting the news. I report, you decide.
His hands are clean. Meanwhile, he's getting giddy like a teenage girl about to gossip at the lunch table.
Yeah. What's the point of being all discreet? Well, we're gonna end that. We're gonna end that streak right now. Okay. You guys ready for your bombshell? Here's your bombshell.
Speaking of personal attacks, there was a debate between the live streamers Destiny, who we mentioned earlier, Sneeko versus George, and George could not define what a high-value man was, despite his entire Red Pill brand being centered around it. It all revolves around this tweet that George made that lists the steps on how to become a high-value male, one of which includes getting a vasectomy, which is why Destiny responds to Rolo saying that with this.
What if your definition of a high-value man is being getting into a trade and having 5 kids by the time you're 22? One of the tweet was, you've got some conception of a high-value man. Here are 8 points that you think you need to do to get to it, and now you've gotten blown the fuck up on the vasectomy thing, which you probably realize is fucking retarded. But you're too old and stubborn to walk back from it. That's the point of this conversation.
I'm not too stubborn.
When asked what he defines as a high-value male, he proceeds to dodge the question.
So like grandpa telling like stories from Vietnam. Like, just say, what is a high-value man? It's the first part of the tweet. What does that mean?
You tell me what a high-value man is. Okay, because here's the thing: is it doesn't matter what I'm going to say is a high-value man. You guys some fucking
because it's your tweet.
It doesn't matter what I say is a high-value man.
You gave a list of 8 things. Do these 8 things to become a high-value man. Do 1 through 8 to become A, and you're not defining what A is.
The fastest way to becoming a high-value man is these things.
What is that? What is a high-value man?
We can't have an argument if I don't even know what your definition
is. But the very fact that you're even asking this in the first place is the actual point of a fucking tweet, okay?
When you ask him to defend his position on a basic level, he has no argument, and instead he gets emotional and launches insults and basically has a melty.
Because the point of it was to get douche nozzles like yourself to have this conversation in the first place.
See, that's the douche nozzle part. That was the douche nozzle part. It's like, why are you a grown-ass man referring to people as douche nozzles when you could have just like owned them on a point and sent them packing? You literally could have did that and had fun with it. But no, you... Imagine getting bodied by a guy that sounds like a mandark. You know?
Douche nozzles?
You guys are idiots.
I thought he wasn't like those other red pill guys.
And that sensationalism, that sells. You know what doesn't sell? When you're trying to intellectually break it down. I just want somebody to go, yeah, get her, Kevin Samuels. Tell her she's average at best. That's all sizzle. That's no steak. That's no substance. If I'm going to break it down, it's not just red meat. It's also the meat, right? It's sizzle and steak rather than just selling the sizzle.
Those other red pill guys sell sizzle. I sell steak.
But it did have me and then kill to party next to that.
Surely his moral superiority is the reason for his lack of success that he loves to complain about.
That's out of my 4th book, which nobody seems to want to read. I've been doing this for 20 freaking years.
And just like those other red pill guys, he also likes to promote non-committal relationships as well as hookup culture.
And you better take care of your kids, Buster, because that's what a real man does. You better look like this guy on the right side right there. That's your responsibility. That's why men exist.
I mean, would that not make a more responsible man that takes care of their family? You know, because we got a bunch of, as the world calls them, deadbeat dads who abandon their families. Hello? Like, you be increasingly more respected if you know, took care of the family you kind of helped make.
This is your purpose for being, right? You know what's funny? I can make the case for both of these. Your purpose for being is to have a commitment to yourself like Dan Bilzerian, to be the best version of yourself for yourself versus the best version of yourself to save the West, to please God, to please your wife. Because if mama ain't happy, God ain't happy.
Just do what feels good, queen. Don't let no man tell you.
Casual sex, feminism has influenced that in some way.
Sleep with who you want. They can't salute shame you, queen. That's a lot of male empowerment.
In the pregnancy test, you could say, oh, this is a flex. No. That's her insurance policy, because that's insurance to keep you around. And if you believe it, that's even that much better. If you gaslit yourself into thinking that that's a flex.
You know, after hearing him call children just an insurance policy to hold men hostage, you really wouldn't think that he's been married for 26 years with a daughter. As a father with a daughter, it's really surprising how much he encourages men to rack up women's body counts, considering that this could be his daughter that some guy does this to. If you sleep with guys...
That's crazy. And you know, like, I feel like that's punishment. Like, you talk all this shit about a specific group and you end up with a daughter. Like, if you a man and you talk buku shit about women, I feel like you just end up with a daughter. I might be crazy for that. I might truly be crazy for that. I've always thought that. Like, if you do that, if you talk down on women like your whole life, you're gonna end up with a daughter, and then you're gonna have to change your whole structure around that. And vice versa too. Like if you talk about how men nothing but trash, this, that, woo, 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 you gonna end up with a son, and you gonna have to course correct, and that's gonna be the punishment. Which is why I only talk about trash. I don't spend my time generalizing all groups under a category. It really a matter of, yo, obviously the stupid people get criticized, because I'm not gonna spend my time talk about how bad a group is or how bad a group of people is, and then I end up with birthing like I'm the one gonna be giving birth. Like I'm gonna have like this is a punishment for the things I've said. Oh no. That ain't how we do that one. That ain't how we do in that. Can't be, won't be, never be, not me. That's happened every time, in every example I could think of. Like somebody will talk down on women, and then years later, I see them again. They got a whole baby girl. It's like, damn, you had all that energy. You gonna be the same? And they just like, nah. That's crazy.
On the first night, well, now you're racking up your body count and you're not worth marrying.
From a statistical standpoint right now, when women get to be, past 31 or 32 years old, and they're looking for and complaining about why they can't find the right guy or the nice guy, that is the guy that is the quote-unquote boyfriend material. That's the guy that they wanted to settle down with. That's not the guy that they wanted to have, hot fun sex with when they were in their crazy college years. And now
hot fun kinky coitus? Oh no, not me. Y'all know what I say about the Bible. Hold on, where my condom at? My condom at? My condom at? Oh, I can't find it. Oh, found it. I don't feel like turning my camera on. Screw it. Y'all know what the Bible say. Y'all know what the Bible tell y'all to do about that. Y'all know what the Bible tell y'all to do about that. And y'all learned it from me. Y'all learned it from me. Y'all don't know too much about the Bible. I teach you about the Bible.
They're ready to get serious.
But if you don't sleep with that high-value alpha male on the first night, well, now you lost them, and it's your fault.
Clearly he makes a lot of money. Clearly he's...
Wakanda forever is crazy. Wakanda forever is actually crazy. When you really boil it down.
Jacked. Clearly he's an ideal guy that I would really like to get with. He's not going to say, okay, well, if you don't have sex with me, that conversation doesn't happen. He just doesn't talk to you anymore. You're pushed out and another girl comes in.
Does he tell his daughter to sleep with men as soon as she meets them and then blame her for it too? George is encouraging a no-win scenario where you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Men being responsible for their families, yes. Responsibility is very important for men.
He preaches about responsibility for men being good, but as soon as push comes to shove, that sentiment is nowhere to be found.
When you're talking about a society that prioritizes the sexual strategies of women above that of men, is it men's responsibility for that? Or should those guys say, no, I'm not gonna settle down with you. I don't have any obligation to marry you. I don't have any obligation to give you any kind of commitment because your sexual strategy from the time you were, say, 18 till about 28 years old had nothing to do with planning for the long term.
Aren't you making men weaker by babying them and taking all of their...
No glove, no love. Oh, I ain't never heard that one before. I'm using that. No glove, no love, no love.
Responsibility away. In case you're wondering what George's response to that sentiment is, basically he never addresses the counter arguments that Lauren made in that debate and instead goes on a long-winded spiel like it's your grandfather telling an old story about women and hypergamy.
There are two people that are having sex and they are both responsible.
So what they're doing is they're looking for a guy who is at their level or above their level.
He does not address the arguments because he doesn't know how to. He just knows how to respond with his pre-written NPC lines that he regurgitates over and over.
When you talk about hypergamy, it's alpha seed and beta need. It's not that every woman will, it's that any woman can.
I literally feel like he's an NPC in a video game and I'm clicking A as he does his lines. Alpha seed, beta need, beta bucks, alpha fuck. It's not that a woman will, it's that a woman can. His hypergamy spiel about 80% of women only being intimate with 20% of men, it really...
What's the scripture? You know the scripture is when the Bible says... If I can do my preacher voice real quick. It's when the Bible says... I need a fucking pianist. Hey, wait, time out. Let's fucking see if I can get a Fall Guys dub. Hold up. I think this the last game mode. So fuck, we gonna put a pause. We gonna put a pause on Brittany Vintage. You know what I'm saying? And we just gonna cool out for a little minute. We gonna cool out. I'll give y'all a buffer. Let's see if I can get a dub. You know what I'm saying? Oh, one dead. All these Pac-Mans, 2 dead. Ah. Oh no. Oh, back on this side. Oh, now I'm back on the side. Oh no. And now I'm back on this side. Oh, and now I'm back on this side. Oh, 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 I do. Oh, now I'm back on this side. Oh, great googly moogly, I'm back on this side. Oh, now I'm back on this side. Oh, and now I'm gonna be sandwiched on this side. Oh, and now I'm back on that side. Hang on. And now I'm back on that side. Oh, and now I'm back on this side. Oh, and now I'm back on that side. See, this is what I do. In my spare time, this is what I do. I have nothing else. I almost screwed up. No! Oh, it's so close to the pink. And no, I don't want to be in the stink. No. Two of the pink, one of the stink. I'm on this side. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh! I got ooh. And then ooh. Ooh, it's going faster. Oh, ooh. Oh! Damn it! Damn it!
It reminds me of feminists saying that the body standards are too high.
It's what we call the 80-20 rule, okay? 80% of guys, and I can show you this statistically through, there's a great book called Dataclism. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
What's wrong with Pac-Man? Pac-Man sucks. Why are you cheering my loss? What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you people? Why aren't you never on my side? Why aren't you ever on my side? You suck. Why do you sound like you're having fun? If you mean by masturbating, no. That's just how I react when in game. It's funnier when you lose. Y'all suck. Y'all terrible.
There with it, but statistically speaking, women do not want to have.
I stopped the entire process of this stream so that we could all potentially see me be the victor, and you people were just like, ha 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 ha, you lost, ha 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 ha. Why do y'all treat me like this? Apparently, Jujutsu Kaisen is coming to Fortnite, and that's gonna be, you know.
Anything, they find 80%, sometimes 85% of men unattractive.
Speaking of which, like a woke feminist, George misled people on that data about women only doing 20% of men. This study isn't even online anymore. It was deleted and it's like 15 years old. The study is so old that we didn't even have filters back then like that, and dating apps weren't really that common. The conclusion he drew from this irrelevant data of women only swiping on omega alphas is really misleading.
Women who were like rated a 5 out of 10 were far more likely to message another 5 out of 10 than a man who was a 5 out of 10 was to message a 5 out of 10. So when it came to actual contact, which I think is the important aspect, the majority of men were more likely to actually message and engage with the 1% of women. Whereas women may have rated men lower, but they were more likely to engage with the men that were in the lower categories.
That debate was from around 2 years ago, and he still uses that statistic.
Getting back to the 80%ers and the 20%ers, the majority of the greatest inventions and innovations, they were created by the guys who are in the 80% trying to find a way out.
And he does it in a way to demonize women.
Woman's sexual strategy so that she's looking for the guy who has that provision capability, but he also still has to be hot, and he also still has to be virile. He also has to have good testosterone levels, and he's got to be taller, and he's got to have the six-pack abs.
As if men wouldn't also be intimate with hotter women if they could over an average one. If there's one thing that I agree with George on, it's that furthering the divide between men and women is not conducive for a healthy, functioning society.
Women need a man like a fish needs a bicycle, right? We've been hearing that since the 70s. And for guys on the opposite side, it's the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Right. Well, that's not how you form a cohesive society. That's not how you form families.
And George's ideology is not conducive for that healthy society. It encourages people to do hookup culture, which is the—
This motherfucker said, all right, it's been fun, but I gotta go make dinner. Stay sane and stay black. Can I give a side note, just because you mentioned the dinner part? I'm gonna assume you're a male, and even if you're not, my point will still be made anyway. Can you people who are my age, who are men, quote unquote, stop peddling this narrative that the only people who are supposed to cook and clean are women? And can you please learn how to cook? Good Lord, you cannot eat McDonald's and Subway for the rest of your life. Learn how to cook. And don't tell me it's hard, because this is coming from somebody who needed to learn how to cook. Guess what? It ain't hard. All you need is about $70 to get you some groceries. 160 if you're somebody who, you know, has more than one person. And you could easily learn how to cook. They got YouTube videos. If you want to learn how to make pasta, macaroni, chicken, turkey, you want to learn how to make a sandwich, you know, there's all these alternatives. I suck at cooking at best. I can cook salmon. There's things you can learn how to cook. Realistically. And it bothered me how they got people who sit there and say, like, yeah, that's a woman's job. And they ain't got no woman. So what you eating, air? Blame the parents. Not many Americans cook anymore. Well, why are you lying to such an egregious extent? Americans do cook. What you should be saying is some people aren't being taught how to cook. And I could be your example. I was not taught how to cook by anybody who lived in the household I formerly lived in. I had to look up videos of how to make pasta because I wanted to make pasta. I had to watch videos on how to actually operate in terms of would be pan frying food. And now, can't nobody make better orange chicken than me. You know what I'm saying? Not even that American-led corporation Panda Express. I make better orange chicken than that American-led corporation.
The opposite of forming families.
Like make pasta from scratch? Yes! From the dough. Like making it via the dough. There's a YouTuber who, like, he does nothing but make pasta. I learned it from him. Why is the seesaw not coming down? Please. Looking up one poll and using that to deduce every single person in the existence of America is the dumbest way you could choose to go. I'm just letting you know that.
And it encourages being helpless and blaming the other gender. The red pill ideology in general is very dehumanizing. It doesn't cultivate a healthy outlook on dating. It's very much like a cult. You have the old guy figurehead selling himself as a high-value male for his followers to worship him. In cults, they have in-group terminology, kind of like how the manosphere does. And in cults, they'll have you sacrifice your life savings if that's what it takes to contribute.
And now
this
I'm
reminds
hungry.
me of Jack
Hey,
Murphy's
good.
program, the Liminal Order.
It's the punishment you people deserve.
Andrew Tate's pyramid scheme. If you question them or their ideology, they label you as a traitor or a feminist and revoke your membership.
The new sort of anti-red pill rhetoric that's going on by the same guys who made a damn good living off of it for the last 2 years, duly noted. Your names are now in the book. We know who's for real and who's about this and who's not right now. So when all this is over, when the election cycle is done, and you want to come back to the manosphere,
And skepticism is not allowed. Are you a male feminist or something?
you're basically a male feminist.
See, you remember like in the last stream that is behind the members only now? You want to watch that debacle and see me be a little bit upset over my headphones glitching? Become a member today, and you can get access to emotes and whatnot. And that's how you promo, ladies and gentlemen. I was saying, all these groups, because, you know, people like to make the false assumption that I'm a conservative. All these groups suck. From the conservatives to the liberals, to these people who worship God, to these people who worship Satan, to the lesbians, the bis, the trans, the black Americans, the BLMs, all of them, they all suck. They all got a problem in them. They all got narcissism caked in it all. And the more people realize that all groups suck, and you can just freely look at all of them and say, you all suck, and I'm going to detail which parts of you suck, you can have more fun in life. Groupthink sucks too, and I agree. And I'm not looking at the screen, but I saw somebody say it. Just be you, no labels. I know that's not exactly what you said, but you said something like that to that effect. So, you know. All groups suck. Groupthink sucks. I don't participate in groupthink. Can't do it. Won't do it. My mind won't allow me to participate. Because the minute I have to sit and pigeonhole myself in that, I'm immediately questioning the morale of anybody who's speaking. That might be the trauma of my life, where I don't trust a single thing. Because I'm built based around my trauma, and I have yet to heal. I don't think I will heal, and that'll be the hill that I die on. I know I said heal. I know I said heal, but it sounded like I said heal just now. But you know, why did I just get a notification that somebody subbed and that they love Cheez-Its? I will derail this entire stream and turn this into a tier list. Cheez-Its suck, people. Matter of fact, you know what? No.
Right now, guys.
There's 4 minutes left.
A disgrace to the manosphere. Give me their badge. Turn to your man.
They isolate you and get mad if you have a spouse because you're
I took
betraying
money,
the
bitch.
inside
Fuck
you.
off.
If I
Get
want
the
to
fuck
say
out of my
here's people go, well,
and
don't
kill
listen to anything he
yourselves.
has to say.
Moral gave her thoughts. Oh, God. What did Moral say? Where am I looking? Where am I looking for this? Oh, it'd be her Twitter. It'd be her Twitter. What did Moral say? What did Moral say? To be honest, I watched the first hour when it was premiering and thought there wasn't much pushback for her, but I didn't see the part where she brought up the hard stuff. So far, I'm not satisfied with the interview, but I still need to watch it. I'm putting her. What the hell? Oh my! You know what? Didn't I? Here's the part. The part everybody got to remember that entire 40 minutes that we watched. The part you got to remember about that entire 40 minutes. The part about captivating. Captivate your audience. Nobody's going to care about some loser reading Bill 4419. They're not. They're not going to care about loser reading Bill 4419. They're not going to care about a guy who's currently in the midst of a trial regarding his freedom and his discrepancies of the law. I know it sounds like I just got jerked off, but I'm trying to avoid dying in Fall Guys. Why are you stuck on Bill 4419? You know what? Because it's an important bill that Americans need to understand, you know? I will be detailing every word, and I've only done this twice. And the only reason I've done it twice is because of the absurdity surrounding bills. 2 in particular. Not even 2, that's 1. And it was the Don't Say Gay bill. That one by itself bothered me to my core because there was too many people saying, oh my God, this is such a discriminatory thing. And then you read it and it's like, no, it's just saying, hey, if you a parent, we're going to inform you about what we're about to teach your child. And that's it. What's Bill 419? I don't know. I just made up a number because I can't remember the one that they gave in the thing.
Say he can't possibly be red pill. He's been married for 25 years.
The red pill manosphere ideology is sold as being the solution for men's problems.
For every guy that's out there that seems like really messed up and really like hates women, and I understand why that is, because a lot of guys right now see the manosphere or see the red pill as sort of their validation for...
Because that's what you promoted as. You promoted as this gatekeep to shit on women. You promoted as this thing to like, let's be cool. That's really what it is. You promote it as, let's talk down on these bimbo women who have all these takes that are obviously wrong and against our core beliefs. Like, you corny. As I hiccup. Like this craze of, oh great, I'm gonna lose this game. I know y'all can't see it. But, you know, just know I'm not winning, son. I'm not winning. I'm just a bill sitting on Captain Hill. Shut up.
Why their lives are so fucked up.
And they give you a rebirth, so to speak, in cults, just like George here is saying that he is saving lives.
You know, literally come out to conventions and talks that I've given just so that they could tell me that, you know, they had a plan to kill themselves. They'd actually set a date to kill themselves and then canceled that date because they read my first book and they go, it all became very clear. Now I understand what's going on. And now I realize that I have...
Am I the only one that never believes when people say things to this dramatic extent? I can't be the only one. I can't. Like, because when I hear somebody, like, tell a story like that, it's just, I don't believe you. There's no grounds for me to believe what you're saying in this instance, because nothing you saying captivates me to believe a fucking word out of your lip muscles, sir. I died. Y'all can't see it, but, you know, Daddy's struggling right now. Come on. It was me versus Pac-Man. It's me versus Pac-Man. Ah! unqualified. Y'all couldn't see it, but you know.
Accurate information, and I can sort of rebuild my life according to that accurate information right now.
Sometimes even on YouTube or Twitter. Ludwig, you saved my life. No, I didn't save your life. What do you mean I saved your life? I've been playing Pokemon and Among Us and Minecraft. All I did was play games, and you used me as a distraction to maybe get through a bad period or whatever it was. But you did it. You used me. You could have used anything. So stop giving me the credit that you deserve for doing all the work. I don't know you. How can I save you? Come on, think about it.
Joining this cult is like entering the crab bucket. You try to crawl out and
I was told I was transphobic. Bro, I was told, hold on. Final game mode, boys. Final game mode, boys. Let's see if I can win it all, dudes. You just gotta go this way now. Oh. Oh, go forward. Oh, now I gotta go this way. Why, game? Why tickle me in such a manner? It makes me uncomfortable. It scares me. Oh, nope. Gotta go straight ahead now. Oh, no! Low LLTG. That's how you do it, baby. Give it to me. I am the winner. I win. LLTG, baby. Long little guys. I am the winner. I win. It's a me. Oh, Black Mario. Oh, man. A winner is you. What were you about to say? What are you talking about? I am the winner. They hate it. Y'all talk about, oh, it's more fun when you lose. I can't tell. I definitely feel good knowing I won. Can't stand Brittany Venti next to Grace Randolph. Venti is beyond insufferable. Oh my God, a wild Brittany Venti.
and they drag you right back down to their level so that you can suffer together. Just as the red pill dehumanizes women and paints them as evil, women in responsible
How old is everyone? I'll start. I'm 30. Damn!
see that and assume that all guys are like these guys in the red pill manosphere. The red pill is encouraging not only for men to hate women, but also for women to hate men.
I've said this before, it's like the red pill doesn't exist so that men will hate women. It exists so men won't hate women for what they can never be to them. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes there's resentment.
As much as George says that the red pill does not make men hate women, it has done a fantastic job at wedging the divide between them and turning men into the feminists that they hate.
About being called transphobic because I asked for evidence that trans people were being denied the right to marry. I mean, I've been called transphobic for dumber. I made fun of... Hold on. I'll expand on this in the next minute.
If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it.
Never mind. The video's over. Okay. Let's expunge. Let's expand on the point. Let's expand on the point of me being transphobic. Apparently, being against somebody wearing a trans flag and saying you don't want to see violence is transphobic. Apparently, accusing me being upset that a grown adult was accusing a 9-year-old of being trans is somehow making me transphobic. This video makes 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 me homophobic. What else we got? What else we got? Anything else? I'm pretty sure this means I hate sex workers. This, a guy going into the Lego store and being the only one in there being upset at a pride flag and then going on a rant about kids annoying about dick and pussy. Like, that makes me transphobic. This makes me transphobic. The glockenspiel, these wannabe saviors who want to and I hate the doublespeak from a lot of you people that do this. Oh, I'm not trying to police you. Oh, I'm not trying to, you know, speak to you a certain way. But, and then they go on a spiel of trying to word salad their way around it. That's why I don't like anybody. That's why I don't speak to none of these people on the grounds of like an honest conversation, because there's no honest conversation to be had. You want me to say something that is not true about me so that you could feel good about yourself. And sorry, but piss off. That's why I'm not charitable. That's why I'm not good faith, because no one is good faith. These people who pretend to be heroes and they want to save everybody, they don't save anybody. No one's been saved. No one gets saved. All you're doing is entertaining the masses. Whether it be how many people in there watching this one stream. I don't know, because I don't have like a counter in front of me. There's about 58 people watching the stream. Just jumped to 62. I'm not saving any of you with this. I'm entertaining you with reacting to videos and screaming and moaning like I'm having an orgasm playing Fall Guys. Or giving an opinion. And apparently, I'm word salading my way into conservative talking points. I'm not. I'm speaking my mind. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I don't value anybody else's thought when I'm sitting in here making my YouTube video. Where did the posters go? I threw them away. Like, they're actually gone. And that's like on some personal shit. So don't ask me to expunge on that further. But like, when these idiots and these streamers and all these people try to like get me to say I'm transphobic, it's not gonna happen, because I know I'm not. I know I'm not racist. And if we're gonna go, I hate that you got to be put somewhere ideologically. I mean, look, I'll play that game, but I'm gonna play it in the most dishonest way possible. Because if what I say somehow in your mind, because your feelings are hurt, because I said something you didn't agree with, which means absolutely nothing, makes me some bigot, then we could absolutely flip that and say, oh, my feelings are hurt based off nothing. You're going to be called something. And then it's going to be a bunch of, well, no, you can't really do that, and blah, 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 blah. No one's dead. No one's a hero. This is like the Hogwarts game. Who died from that? I can't tell if I'm conservative or liberal. How about this? Be yourself. Fuck a label. A label means nothing. A label means nothing, especially online. These labels these people want to pigeonhole you with, they mean nothing. It's just so that they could feel good. The collection of people who don't like me or have a problem with me, they either don't watch the videos, they watch 2 minutes, skim through it, pick apart one thing, pick a part that they'll watch close to the end, and then come up with some spiel about how this ties into what I've said about someone else. And it's like, that has nothing to do with me. Leon, your audience is older than you. Yes, I know. Technically by 2 years as a starting point. If I could look at my analytics real quick to see like the age of people who watch me, I go to audience. 29% of my audience, which is the majority, is 25 to 34-year-olds. It's fine. 14% is 18-year-olds to 24-year-olds. 21% is 35 to 45. 15% is 45 to 54. 11% is 55 to 64. And 6% is 65 and up. With a dominant 69.4% of my audience being male. And I have 29% of a female audience, which is wild. Most of my audience is younger, and my response to you is, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Just have fun with it. Have fun. Have a great time. Make the fucking content. Age is, whoa, I'm not saying that. Age is most definitely a number. Fellas, I don't care what these bitches, I don't care what these people tell y'all. Ask that woman her age. Ask that woman her age. I don't care if it's offensive. I don't care if it's, that's rude. Ask the age. Ask the age. Leon, do you drink Budweiser? Motherfucker, I don't even drink beer. I drink liquor, but let me stop.
I took your money, bitch. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of my room and kill yourselves. We're done here. I took your money, bitch. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of my room and kill yourselves. We're done here.
Hold on. I had to walk.
I took
I
your
got
money,
gifted
bitch.
5
Fuck
subs.
off.
Who did that?
Get the fuck out of my room and kill yourselves. We're done here.
Oni, I appreciate that. You bumble bum.
I took your money, bitch. Fuck off.
My
Get the
audience
fuck
is
out of
mostly
my
male.
room.
Who
and Kill
cares?
yourselves. We're done here.
Who cares? Like, who cares? It's an audience.
I took your money, bitch. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of my room and kill yourselves. We're done here.
It's an audience. It's people who are there to see you. Oh, so y'all starting to understand what I want in my chat when somebody gifts a sub. You know what I'm saying? Y'all understand that I want to see some eggplants in my chat. Yeah. Good job. Y'all getting with the curriculum. All right, hold up. I gotta use the bathroom. I gotta pee. Wait, I just realized I could watch your membership videos now. Well, basically, that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you choose to do. I ain't heard about no eggplants when stuff is given. I've said this numerous times. When anybody like gifts a sub, I want eggplants in the chat. No grapes, no pineapples. No, I want eggplants. I say eggplants. Everybody got their thing. They got these bozos who do like 07s. They got people who throw up the 100 emoji. I want eggplants in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Somebody asked me when's the move. It is next Friday. Yep, next Friday. So what's gonna happen is I'm going to have to make a lot of content between now and Monday so that I can have videos lined up for you people to see, so that you can enjoy while I'm getting situated and moving, and that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Oh, be right back. All right, kids. I mean, I don't mind you taking a well-deserved break. Well, guess what? You don't have control over that. I do. I'm going to Detroit for SummerSlam. Yuck. Yuck. Eggplants, but no smuggle nuts. Should I get that? I might make that an E. I might make that an emote. You, WWE? Oh, please don't start this. Don't start this. Don't y'all get started with this. About to go see Zack Ryder now. About to go watch TNA or one of them. I don't know the name of the business. It's like one place he works. All right. I kind of want to keep the trend going of talking about Rollo Tomasi. You know? But do I want to listen to him explain this beef, or do I want to show y'all? I want to hear him explain it.
But as far as Donovan Sharp is concerned, so the reason why I said that the stuff that came out in January, it didn't come out in January. It came out in 2020, 2019, something like that. It's been around for a long time.
God,
it was released by a gentleman by the name of Anthony Johnson, who I have,
Oh, he's the white guy.
Yes. But again, the reason why it came out, the reason why you see this sort of like exposed, and, oh my, he's a hypocrite. Don't listen to him. The reason why you get these hit pieces is because what you would never hear Abba and Preach say is the reason for that. The reason why this is old news, like when I came at Abba and Preach for talking shit about Donovan, it wasn't because I was defending Donovan. I'm saying you guys, you've got old data. You're listening to the wrong person, because the shit that you think is recent happened back in 2020. And the reason why is because Donovan Sharp runs a convention called the CME, which is the Convention of Masculine Excellence, right? Which is in direct competition with Anthony Johnson's 21 convention. And there's a lot of bad blood, and there's been a lot of even Anthony Johnson's Attack Fresh and Fits channel for having me and Donovan on, and Aaron Clary was on, I think, on that month as well.
What's beef with you though?
His beef with me is the fact that I basically saved his convention from like bankruptcy by actually believing this bullshit. And I was one of his keynote speakers for 2017 and 2018. We were also, myself and Rich Cooper were involved in the Red Man Group, which was sort of, I guess, the precursor of Rule Zero, which I think is a much better show, quite honestly. But then, the guys, you want to talk about pathological personalities. This guy's basically run off anyone who's ever worked with him, in the past. Abba and Preach are reactors. They'll look for whatever outrage bait that they can find. Because look, seriously, go look at the thumbnails of everything that they do. You can go look at people's like thumbnails and say, is this guy an ideas guy, or is this guy a reactor? Is this a guy who's just like waiting for the next crisis to happen so that they can do a reaction video? Or are they actually doing something? Do they have a product? Do they have an idea? Do they have a book? Do they have anything that is novel and new? 98% of the time, no, they don't, because they're waiting for people to talk shit about someone else so they can go do a reaction video. That is Abba and Preach. That is MTR. That is anybody who's an outrage broker, right? And so it was just the new hotness, and I just called them out on the bullshit, because the stuff that they were talking about, Anthony Johnson had been talking about Donovan Sharp since back like 2 years ago, because he wanted to expose Donovan so it would hurt his convention, because he was in direct competition with him.
Now, I do want to like get to like you and MTR, because I had no idea. You feel me? That there was a type of
I've never said two words to MTR, so I only see
books are novel and new. No. I'm glad somebody else said it. So now I want to watch him dick eat.
Bring it, please. I'm begging you. Right here on the chin. Do it. Do it now. I'm begging you. Beware of who you come at in this sphere. Beware.
If you don't know what's happening right now, this guy's called the godfather of the Red Pill. He wrote a book that a lot of people think is really important. Some of you other people might know him as Tim Pool's father, and he's upset that we talked about Donovan Sharp being a fraud.
Is he Tim Pool's father?
No, they just, for some reason, are both grown men who wear beanies every day on the screen.
Hey, damn, wait a minute, damn, hold up, leave the beanies out of it. The beanies ain't do no wrong, the beanies ain't do nothing. An attack on a beanie is an attack on me.
I don't know. I think for Tim Pool it's more acceptable because like he's in his 20s, but like you're a 50-year-old man married wearing beanies every day.
Maybe he's cold. I understand the sentiment.
Yeah, marriage is a lonely life. Sorry. It's just something about the dude who's like been married for 25 years. I'll be like, let me tell you about dating, guy. I mean, shut your old ass up. You ain't been dating forever. You dated while motherfuckers were using Morse code to get at each other. Typewriters.
If I used typewriters,
you used typewriters. And he got 15 years on you. He went in them. Okay.
But let me explain one other thing to you. Abba and Preach, before you start like mouthing off with bullshit like that, especially with people that I know, and again, I'm not defending Donovan. That's his house. He can go do. He's defending him. Go talk to Donovan. That's on him. Did he do it? Well, yeah, clearly. He's talked to it. He's talked about it. He's right. He took the hit for it way back when Anthony came at him back in 2020. That Alba and Preach clearly didn't know anything about because they wouldn't have come up with this lame contrived video. And they even admit in the video that they got the information from Anthony. Could it be because he's paying you to do these attack piece videos? I can't wait for the one on me. Shills, Anthony Johnson.
Bro, this concept of motherfuckers doing videos because they're getting paid, you can't even prove that.
Happy to take that fucking money and run with it. It's a paid, it's product placement.
People looked. Yeah, he said we're paid by it. First off, I didn't even know his name was Anthony Johnson. I just know him as the guy from 21 Studios. I don't know much about him. Okay, I don't know much about him. But if you think we get paid to cover anybody, you are bugging.
You can't prove something that did not happen.
That's my point. So you got to bring the proof. You can't just make that kind of allegation.
No, but the whole rant is irrational. But it's whatever.
I'm not here defending Donovan. Proceeds to try to defend Donovan by spreading us. But hey,
with bogus allegations.
Yeah.
And I think you put a price on how much we were paid.
Hey, but don't we get mad at ladies when they make false allegations?
That's fair. Those are some very serious allegations. That's why we need this level of accuracy. That's why we need to speak in terms in ways that are that leave no room for error.
You see why this shit is W dick eating? Y'all see why this is W dick eating? Like, have I illustrated how this is just pure meat eating? Just like pure. I hope I have. But I really just wanted to show that. That's enough streaming for today. Technically streamed for 3 hours. But Candace Owens is boring. Candace Owens is not captivating to be doing an interview. Even if the interview got some substance to it, not captivating at all. Wait, that wasn't Don Callis. Get out. Goodbye.